evening. I'm over here. Welcome, everyone, to Nerd Rage Gaming Thursday Night Locals. My name is Dan Hugar. I am here with Brian DeVeza and Bryce. Hi, Bryce. And Brian, I see you're excited about some sport ball today.
I am. I made a tweet not too long ago saying like I like to bring my jersey with me, my NRG jersey, to as many events as I can. Show that all the NRG people are here to help. We want to be like supportive figures in the community. But the Toronto Blue Jays have reached their first ALCS since 2016, so I'm repping the Birds today.
That is understandable.
Yeah.
I say the Shift Gear Pod and Neil. I'm sure they'd be very happy to see this.
I know, real huge news. So. Really hyped for my Blue Jays to make it to the next round.
No, it's a big deal. Yeah. And the Cubs right now are currently playing down 2-1 in the NLDS for a chance to go to Milwaukee this weekend. And Brian, I don't know if you were aware, but there's some other exciting things happening in Milwaukee this weekend.
We got a whole Pokemon tournament.
We have a whole Pokemon tournament, yes.
Yep.
The second regional for North America this year is in Milwaukee on Saturday. Hopefully the Cubs are playing ball there too, but I will at least be there playing Pokemon, and we got about 2,500 Masters who are going to be playing Pokemon there too.
Oh,
That's a ton.
Yeah, it's always a really great tournament. I really like the venue there, and I've come to appreciate some of the other stuff that you can do in Milwaukee. So everyone going there, good luck in the tournament, but also have fun. There's always a lot of fun stuff to do around the area too.
And honestly, Milwaukee's a really cool city. It's really nice. I don't want to talk positively about it because we're playing the Brewers right now, but it's legitimately a cool city.
Oh,
so if you're going to the tournament, obviously, I hope you do well. I hope you make day 2, phase 2. If you don't, still go have fun. Enjoy. It's a cool city.
Yeah, definitely.
There's good beverages. There's cheese curds everywhere. It's just great, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so for today, we are playing in the Mega Evolution format, which will be the format for Milwaukee's regional on Saturday. And Brian, we're gonna see some cool stuff today.
Yeah, I was really excited. I mean, I just put out my tweet, letting everybody know that we're streaming tonight, and we have a really good turnout today, and we have a lot of really good players who've came in just to play here, just to get ready for the tournament, which I'm really excited about.
We do, Bryce. How many players do we have? Or how many tables? So we have 37 players, which is pretty good.
Pretty good.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
We have a couple international players who are here. Christian Fontenon, Emma, who are here from Norway?
Denmark.
No, Denmark, excuse me, the Danes. Christian's going to murder me if he watches this back. But the Danes are here. We've got Dr. Kevin Krieger coming in from out of town. We've got Callie White here playing.
Callie's here too. I didn't get to run into the doc yet, so
Doc has not gotten here yet, so that is a key problem.
That makes
I expect no less, Kevin. So we got a lot of great players, and that means we're going to see some really cool archetypes. We have Dragapult here. We're going to have probably Eevee Box here. We got Goldango here, a ton of Ceruledge.
Yeah, probably a lot of Ceruledge, probably a lot of Goldango, Guardy, probably a lot of those.
We got at least a bit of jungle dumping too, which I would love to see me some Venusaur on stream.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we can do. And I did make a promise to a gentleman here playing Hop Zacian that if they get through round 1, we'll see them on, because honestly, their list is sick.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. So Brian, kind of as we're getting set up, we've talked about some of the big archetypes.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to be the biggest one in Milwaukee?
Based off pure play rate, I actually think Ceruledge is going to be the most played deck.
Really?
I really do think so. And I feel like it's just a lot of people are hyping it up online, and a lot of people just like the flow of it. It's like really, pretty streamlined. You have a very set game plan to kind of follow, and I think a lot of people kind of like that. And I think there's a lot of Goldango fatigue, so I feel like a lot of the Goldango players are going to try to play Ceruledge. So that's probably my hot take for the weekend, is I think Ceruledge is going to be the most played deck.
I mean, I think it's a hot take, but I think it's not a bad one. So I think Ceruledge, Zeke, thank you very much for joining us. Much appreciated.
Appreciate it.
I will say Ceruledge, I think, has an advantage because, number one, it has a really good Goldango matchup, so that's big. But also, like you said, it is a big linear boom blow-up deck, but it has stuff like Briar. It has single prize attackers. There's enough, I don't know if nuance is the right word, but there's enough pieces there where it's not only go boom boom. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see it very highly played.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I feel like, Goldango is going to still be high up there. I feel like Guardy probably will be pretty high too, but I feel like the numbers aren't going to be like it was the last couple events.
I would assume not. But, Bryce, do we have our first game? All right, we are ready to get into our first game, and we are going to see, exactly like you said, Gardevoir EX, played by Christian Jr., against a player some people may have heard of, Christian Fontenon, a Stuttgart regional winner a year or two ago, playing Goldango. And, Brian, Were we about to talk some smack about Goldengo?
I don't think so. I mean,
No?
I think
Oh,
we were
I was
just
going to. That's
yeah, I
fine.
think we were just at least the thing that I was mentioning is that there's just a lot of Goldengo fatigue. You know, I feel like a lot of people are kind of tired of the deck and the mirror matches and stuff like that. But going into this game, a really interesting thing that we're seeing in Christian's hand here, we have a Hops Cramorant.
We do. And so Austin Charles kind of popularized this at the, excuse me, Full Grip 3K,
Hmm.
playing the Hops Cryman just as like a single prize offset attacker, because in this deck now, you can hit with Soul Rock, you can hit with something else, and then if your opponent has 3 or 4 prizes remaining, Hops Cramorant does 120 for a single energy, and that is not insignificant. Like,
Yeah,
that's a decent bit of damage.
yeah, it's good because it takes advantage of a lot of those single prize Pokemon that people like to kind of play. So pretty solid one to kind of slot in there, and it doesn't seem like it really takes up too much space. So looking into Christian's hand now, we're gonna play the Artisan for that Soul Rock, and we're gonna get the Fighting Gong here.
And so that's a
Yeah,
new card out of Mega Evolution, including the Lunatone and Soul Rock.
yeah,
And these cards are a draw engine all their own. So
yeah,
now Christian has Fighting Energy in hand, has Earthen Vessel in hand, and I think he's just debating, do I Vessel first? And I kind of think he has to here, Brian.
yeah. Definitely, it'll be good to just thin out a couple more energies out of the deck right before we go for our draw 3. So we're gonna get the 2 fighting energies here, and then we're going to use that Lunatone ability to be able to draw 3. So super solid ability, and it's going to be one of the most used support Pokemon, I think, for this weekend and even moving on.
I agree. It is such a good engine. And Brian, can you move the mic a little closer to your
Oh,
mouth?
yeah, definitely.
So one thing I'm a little nervous about for Christian here is we did use Artisan to get these guys to draw, which I think is necessary. But I noticed a distinct lack of Gimme Ghouls on the board here, Brian.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not that big of a deal right now, just because against something like Gardevoir, you're not like super like in a rush to kind of get to your Goldengos, just because Gardevoir is typically pretty slow. You don't run like you only run two rare candies and all of that, but you're not really like in a super big rush to kind of get your main attackers going. And the Soul Rock also serves as a pretty serviceable attacker in this early game stage as well.
So I agree. Solark is an excellent attacker. With the Artisan there, Christian will be able to get at least one Gimme Ghoul next turn. But now going over to Christian, I mean, that Artisan's a big enabler for him because now it takes big pressure off his own search options.
Yeah, definitely. So we're already seeing Junior kind of go through his deck. And eyeing the Ralts right now, but sees that he has Evo as well, so there's probably a few other things we can kind of look through for the deck for this turn.
So we do have Secret Box
Yeah.
in hand, which is a
Yes.
pretty good card in Guardy if you weren't aware of it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Secret Box A spec lets you discard 3 cards from hand and get one of every type of trainer out of your deck. And I mean, Christian can do that and discard multiple psychic
Yeah,
energy.
definitely. That's the next thing I was going to mention is that being able to get at least a couple energies in the discard already is pretty good. I think we're going to keep at least one of those because I think we might be looking to TM Evo this turn.
And so what do you think about that decision?
Yeah, I think unless Christian is hoping to draw into one with the Lily's Determination, that could be a possibility, or maybe just to search out Earthen Vessel. So I don't mind either one of those plays, to be honest.
So
Yeah.
the one thing I would think I would have liked to see is if Christian plays it, Frillish here.
Yeah, Frillish
Because
would be good too, yeah.
I think Frillish pinging into the Genesect is a big deal because then it means Christian's reliant on finding an Arven or an air balloon in order to retreat it. And with that in mind, Christian would have to find both a Vitality Band and an air balloon in order to knock out a Frillish. So this is, I think, fine for Christian because now it's going to be way easier for him to apply pressure and get a knockout.
Yeah, definitely. And I do like the way that he sequenced out this turn, because even though he's not looking to do that Frillish turn and looking to go for the TM Evo, just being able to kind of thin out as many cards from your hand as possible, put all the tools and the energies, and kind of indicate that this is the plan that he's going with before playing that Lilies is pretty solid sequencing.
So I actually disagree. I
Okay.
actually really dislike the sequencing here.
Yeah.
And so the only issue I have
Okay.
with it is using that Artisan search first to pull a Ralts out of the deck means that there's a high likelihood Christian only gets one Ralts down.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
so if we save the Artisan, we keep an out to a Ralts in deck, and then we can search out another one. And so here's a bit of the risk. We didn't hit another Ralts. And so we're going to get one Curlia down. Now, Is that Kirlia going to survive? Probably. But it still makes it a little harder for Christian to stream, excuse me, not Dragon Balls, good God, Gardevoirs, in case Christian is able to apply enough pressure.
Yeah, and I think another thing to kind of think about too is the risk that you, when you play the lilies, is since you're shuffling the deck, there's also a chance that you draw into those Curlias as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's something to kind of think about as well.
And we did just see the Gimmighoul from the top deck. We'll see the search for Genesect. I got a measure an Artisan for another Gimmighoul. And all of a sudden, Christian's board is looking much better.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And this is really good for the Goldango players right now, just because when it comes to this matchup, Goldango really needs a way to kind of deal with the single prizes early. So being able to have something like that Soul Rock really helps with that. Just because you can use the Goldangos to do it because they're kind of like a main draw supporter as well. But being able to use a one-prizer to effectively get you through the early game is a really solid addition to the deck.
I would agree. And we have the Fighting Gong in hand to get additional energy should we desire. But I think really all Christian wants here is an Arven.
Yeah. Ooh, we got the trolley now. He would have really liked that last turn.
Agreed. And so now the tricky part is we don't have any other way to draw more cards.
Yes.
And so what does this mean for Fontanon?
I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, even though it's not that great that we have a Genesect 2-prizer in the active, but, you know, it really could be worse. Again, it's one of those things where it's like, this is a pretty slow deck that he's playing against. So taking your time to kind of get your board set up is not that bad.
So now here's the scary part, though. Fontanon has 4 Genesect in hand. We have Genesect, excuse me, we have 4 Goldango in hand.
Yeah.
We have Genesect in the active. Genesect has 220 HP. There is a world where Junior Ionos and murders the Genesect.
That is very true.
And if we encounter that world, suddenly Fontanon is going from, this is fine, to, oh God, none of this is fine.
Yeah, definitely.
So what does Christian need to do for the rest of this turn here?
Feel like that the rest of this turn, we kind of just have to, I think we just need to have some more setup, really. I mean, the board looks already pretty good. But, I mean, I think the main priority would have been to get the Genesect out of the active, but looks like we're not going to be able to.
No, we have no supporters in hand outside of a boss. We do have a Mental Energy we can attach.
Yeah.
But really, our hand's kind of dead otherwise. Now, granted, next turn, we're going to have 2 Goldango down, which is huge. But now we see the pass over to Christian.
Yeah, ooh, Christian Jr. with the big top deck here, getting the Gardevoir EX. And if we play that Arven, we can discard 2 more Psychic Energy as well. So pretty solid start to the turn as well. So we're going to see what he kind of decides to do here. So
I mean, this has got to be an Ultra Ball for a Scream Tail, right?
Yeah, it's definitely got to be. Just because we did use that Artisan already for the Monkey Dory. And we do have the Dark Energy already for one of those Monkey Dories as well, which is really huge.
It is.
Ooh, I don't. Maybe the Scream Tail might be prized, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe he's looking to just double Guardy, Monkey Dory to the active, and then take the 2-prizer.
I guess that can make sense. And just say, hey, I'm going to go 2 prizes up, so all I need to do is attack twice more to win the game, and Christian will have to put down 2 prizers.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense here.
Yeah, and I'm not too mad about it as well, just because I know, like, with this matchup, Goldango can easily knock out the Gardevoir EX. There's just so many ways to do so. So being able to kind of have a safety cushion of another Gardevoir EX is also like a really nice thing to kind of have.
I would agree. And I think it's going to be necessary because this Guardy will have 10 HP remaining on it after this attack.
Yep, and then we're going to get the Miracle Force in, and then 2 prizes going to Christian Jr. So we're going to see the Soul Rock retreating into...
And there's the Scream Tail off the prizes.
Yep. So we're probably going to see that Fez come down as well.
Actually, I don't know if we will see that Fez come down, because that suddenly could accelerate the game big time for Junior.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see what this draw gets Christian. We get a Energy.
Is that a Cypher?
It looks like it.
Followed by Buddy Poffin, which is less good.
Yeah, we have, I think, 3 or so energy, 4 energy in the discard now. Superior Energy Retrieval. I think with all of this, with that Earthen Vessel we just got, I think we can get to 7 energy here.
Oh, that was an Iono. Oh, no, an Arven,
Arven.
And yes, we certainly can reach a knockout at this point.
Yeah, and that's huge here because that was kind of like what we're talking about, where it's like, that's why we kind of have that double guardy kind of safety cushion here because Goldango at the blink of an eye can just knock out your main engine here.
100%. And so we have 5 in hand. We just need access to 1 more energy, which we have.
Yeah.
So we have a clean knockout in hand on this Gardevoir EX.
Yeah, and if Christian really wanted to do as well, he could also start to set up this Goldango on the bench with an energy to attack as well.
Do you think that would be the right call here?
Probably not. I don't think so.
That's reasonable. I actually agree with you.
Yeah, I don't think it would be because, I mean, we kind of need those resources for follow-up attacks, but, we definitely... Yeah, I think getting something like the air balloon could definitely help with that instead.
And we have the Hops belt, or Hops choice belt,
yeah.
just to crank the damage on that Hops Cramorant. That's hilarious, honestly.
Really, I forget, how much damage does the belt give you?
Plus 30.
30?
So
okay.
Hops Cram hits for 150.
150. That's pretty
solid. What number does that fix?
I don't really know.
I don't really know either, but it is a pretty good number.
It's a good number, yeah.
All right, so then we see plenty of energy in hand. We do see the knockout on the Gardevoir. Perfect math. But now Junior has a chance to respond.
Yeah, definitely. So getting that Screamtail off the prizes was huge, just because Screamtail is definitely the best attacker in the Gardevoir deck. So being able to get that is huge here for Junior. So we're going to see the Artisan come down here. Let's see what we grab. Looks like, ooh, we're grabbing the Fluttermane.
Ooh, what do you think about that?
I really like Fluttermane and Gardevoir. I'm definitely a big fan of it. I don't know what kind of use it kind of has right now in this matchup, but for other matchups like the mirror for sure. Oh yeah, Fluttermane is really good.
I think it does. It works very well with Devo.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you can Devo, knock out the active Gimmighoul, or excuse me, knock out the active Gimmighoul, and then you force Christian to be able to work without his active Gimmighoul's draw, which is a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so we see the Lilies here.
Yeah, the Lilies are really good here too, just because, Gardevoir doesn't really have too much draw support on board. But being able to kind of just towards like the end of the game when you don't have as many prize cards, just being able to just put your hand back in the deck and just draw 6 is just really nice.
It is. And so what Christian's checking here is, does Junior have enough Psychic energy in order to knock out his Screamtail? And oh, buddy, he does.
Yeah.
So we're going to see this Goldango go down this turn likely.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see what these 6 cards get us here. So we see a Devo, we see Iono, we see a few other pretty solid cards here.
We don't see a second Dark Energy, which is what Junior would really like here. But, I mean, with the knockout teed up on the Goldango anyway, this is pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see what we got here. I think he's just thinking about his math here.
So for those watching at home, luckily, the math is pretty simple. You're going to put 2 on Guard EX, retreat, go into Screamtail, put 6 on Screamtail, and then Monkey 2 or 3 from Guardy onto the active Goldango and end its miserable existence.
Yes, exactly.
See, we got this.
Yeah,
we got this.
Yeah, we know what we're doing.
Easy,
sometimes.
easy. So every now and then.
Yeah, definitely.
But regardless, this is legitimately perfect math for Christian to be able to take this knockout. And then on Fontenot's end, he's going to be down 4 prizes to 2, and he's going to be required to Gust to take a 2-prize knockout. And man, Junior's got to be feeling great about that situation.
Yeah, definitely. So I think he's still kind of eyeing what the turn would be. I'm not really seeing any other lines that we could potentially do here.
Okay, and I think that is a very reasonable choice.
Yes.
So we're going to attach just 1 energy to the active Guardy, move 2 to the active Goldango, and then we have more Psychic energy to work with later.
Yep, and it still gets us that math as well.
Exactly, because we do only need 20 damage.
Yep. So looks like we're going to move that in just a sec here. Yeah, we're going to go into with that retreat.
And I think the thing Junior's debating is that there's no clean way for him to get a follow-up Gardevoir.
Yes.
If Fontenot does knock this out.
Yeah, and for Spoon Squad, I don't know if he's playing Tool Scrapper. I haven't seen one through any of the searches so far.
And I think Fontenot is showing us Picnic's Basket. He's showing us Fez. We're going to draw a bajillion cards next turn.
Yeah. Trying to figure out what we're trying to do
Wait,
here now.
what are we doing?
Yeah. 3. Oh, okay. This is a little different than what we thought. I thought we can kind of go 2-2-2 here.
Why are we doing this, Brian?
Yeah, I don't know either. It just seems like that the Screamtail, which is, what your best attacker is pretty much just going to go down right away.
This feels incorrect.
Yeah.
Especially because we can just go get another Lunatone.
Exactly, yeah.
Wait, yeah. I think Junior didn't recognize that was an option.
Yeah.
Ooh. Mr. Blanks, I would tend to agree, and it's certainly going in that direction.
Definitely.
Now, granted, I think Junior had a very favored game here if he knocks out the Goldengo.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too. Yeah, I feel like it just slows down your game plan even more if you go for the single prizer.
So, and that's the thing. My big question is why?
Yeah, I know it's definitely a questionable thing here, and I feel like we can kind of punish this a little further with that picnic basket.
Oh, we can punish that immensely because that heals everything.
And Gardevoir really it relies on those damage counters to do a lot of things. Oh my god.
And we have a Vitality Band.
Christian's cooking
so
right here.
We need exactly 6 energy in order to take this knockout here. Now, granted, from a sequencing perspective, is Christian much better at Pokemon than me? Yes.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, we did take a knockout. We're good. So Christian's much better than Pokemon. However, from a sequencing perspective, y'all, do not gust before you have seen the entirety of what you're going to see in your hand.
Yeah.
Like, that is a huge deal. So, in this scenario, Christian obviously has it, but sequencing matters, kids.
Yeah, sequencing does matter because if you waste your supporter and you just end up gusting for no reason, you can definitely get punished for it.
Right. And now, clearly, there's 0 punishment here because, oh, buddy, did we have it. But still.
Definitely.
We've got multiple boss. Okay.
Yeah.
So, here's where things get tough for Junior. We are only going to be able to hit for 60 right now with that Screamtail.
Exactly. And we have 3 energy on it, too.
Correct. And we have no way to get down a Gardevoir EX right now. And we're going to Iono ourselves to 3, and that's it.
Yeah.
And this is going to be really, really sketchy.
Definitely. It's going to be a little tough for him, but yeah, now we got 4 more energy back here as well. And then Vitality Band. I remember we were talking about this last week.
We were, yeah.
Vitality Band and Goldengo is kind of saucy.
I mean, it fixes a ton of math for Solrock, but it also fixes math for Goldengo into Gardevoir EX.
Yeah, definitely. So being able to take that knockout for 6 energy instead of 7, it definitely matters.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so then we will see Junior draw. Now down 3 prizes to 2. We see the energy for Monkey, but who cares?
I mean, we only have 1 Gardevoir in play no Gardevoirs in play.
Right, we have a Ralts, and that is it.
Yeah.
So now we can get Fez, allegedly.
Maybe. Yeah, Fez is there.
And so I think we're checking if there's any more rare candies. And Brian, do you see any more rare candies?
I thought there was one. I remember seeing one a little bit earlier. But
there is. Okay, there's at least one in there.
Yeah.
So I'm saying there's a chance. And with a Night Stretcher in hand, I think Junior's going to have to rip it.
Yeah, I think that's like the only way that he's kind of stays in the game here. Yeah.
And so we have the Mew EX in hand as well. I mean, Brian, I got to imagine, I think we have to just try to draw as much as possible here and just thin the hand down.
Yeah, that might be the only way. And I'm trying to wonder if, like, do we Fez now? I feel like we have to Fez before we play Iono.
I think with the Night Stretcher in hand, Fezzing now is probably correct.
Yeah. Ooh, interesting.
Or
we can just not do any of that. I think we're on a different page than Christian here.
I would agree. I think we're on different, because I think Christian thinks he has more time than he actually has.
Yeah.
So going to the 2 Ralts, I mean, it's technically fine, but if we don't get a knockout here, I don't know how we win this game.
Exactly.
All right, so we'll see 3 cards for Junior.
There's the rare candy.
Was that a candy or a rod?
Looks like a candy. Oh, that is a rod. Yeah.
Wait, so if that's a rod, why are we... Oh, goodness.
Yeah, this looks even worse than what we had before.
This is absolutely worse.
Yeah.
So then what do we do here? Like, how are we moving from this position?
Yeah, I don't really... It doesn't seem very good here. I mean, it's like, do we even have energy to kind of work with? I feel like the only other option we could have had is maybe like a Mind Bend angle, but not even that's an option either.
Well, so that's the thing, is we manually attached to another monkey. Yeah. So we didn't even give ourselves the option for Mind Bend. So, all right, kids, for those watching at home, I want this to be a lesson for you. Number 1, don't do anything you just saw in the last turn. Outside of that, what one of the big things I think everyone needs to keep in mind is what is your game plan, what is their game plan. Christian Jr. kept in mind his game plan of, okay, well, I need to ensure I have outs to Gardevoir and I can play the game. What he did not consider is the fact that he doesn't have 2 turns to get it evolved up. It kind of was all or nothing in this turn. And Brian, I mean, that's something we can get stuck on, is thinking to play the long game when there isn't a long game.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's like definitely a world where Christian Fontenot now is like just gonna keep drawing until he gets boss, and then he can rip boss for game.
Absolutely. And to be honest, he doesn't even need boss for game because he can take a 1-prize knockout here and then just knock out whatever it is Christian advances, since outside of a Gardevoir EX with some more monkey damage, it's going to be a single prizer that reaches on this Goldengo.
Yeah, definitely so. We'll kind of see what he ends up doing here, but those are both pretty plausible options here.
They are, definitely.
So let's see what we end up starting with first here. Gonna lay out all the energies that we need.
And we have a ton available to us.
Yeah, definitely. So we have the superior energy retrieval, which is nice too, because it gets us our damage like for attacking, but it also can serve as draw support too. Being able to kind of pick up some of those energies can help get more cards in the hand.
And we hit the boss.
We hit the boss.
Does Christian know that's game? Yeah, there you go. And we just see him say, "Oh, I have game." That's correct. Because with that Vitality Band,
Vitality
Brian,
Band,
crazy. Okay,
Vitality Band is so fire.
It is. Do we have a second game, Bryce? Okay, so I will say that Vitality Band legitimately is good.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we were talking about it last week. I didn't think it was really that legit, but it's pretty legit.
It clearly fixed some math there. All right, so Brian, if you don't mind, since Goldengo is a big deck, do you mind if I kick you out? Can you grab Christian? We'll bring him in here.
I'll bring him in.
So Christian is a local. We're going to claim him as a local, even though he's from Denmark, because he actually lived in Illinois for a couple years, a few years back during COVID. And so he was up at Nerd Rage all the time, hanging out for locals, coming to our 1Ks and everything. So we're always super happy to see him back.
Oh,
and
Dan Hugo.
Is that Christian?
I love Dan Hugo.
We were actually, I was about to tell everyone that you showed up and we were just like hanging there. You said hi to us. And both Ryan and I almost at the same time were like, wait, you're right. He doesn't live here anymore. He's in Europe. Christian, you're back. Hello.
Hello.
So, Christian, thank you for joining us, man.
So,
how are you feeling going to Milwaukee?
a little sick, actually.
Okay,
so
that's not good.
That's mildly concerning.
So I just need you to shift a little that way.
No, it's been fine. It's been fine.
Okay.
It's been weird, though, because, like, normally when I get sick, it starts, like, with, like, a runny nose, right? But I've been having, my throat's been, like, really annoying all week.
Ooh.
And it's just not gotten better or worse. It's just been constant. And I don't really know what to do about it.
No, that's just nature. That's just nature attacking you at this point. Yes. Welcome to the Midwest again, bud.
But I don't normally have allergies this time of year.
Oh.
So that's why I'm confused, right? If this was spring, I'll be like, normal Tuesday,
oh.
right?
Oh, buddy, welcome to aging. That
there it is.
All right, so tell nature aside, tell us a little bit about Goldengo. So you're playing it today. Is this like something you're considering for Saturday?
I'm definitely playing Goldengo this weekend.
All right, there you go, people. You heard it
sure.
here first. Not first. He's probably said it otherwise.
I think this deck is broken. I think Goldengo Soul Rock is ridiculous. I've said this on my own stream, twitch.tv/6pccg.
Feel free to. Dude, Christian's awesome. If you want some good stuff to watch, he has some great stuff.
No, but I've been ranting about this deck constantly. I think it's really, really, really broken. And that's because if you attack turn 1 with Soul Rock and you take a knockout, you do that with a fully 1-prize board. And in traditional, aggro deck matchups, right, if your opponent is not able to take 2 prize cards on that immediate turn 2, they lose the game. Because
that makes sense.
You either take another 1 prize, or you take 2 prizes into their 2 prizer, which just took 1 prize, and you win the 2-2-2, right? So the Soul Rock is just a really good attacker.
So the one exception to that, though, is Ceruledge.
There's plenty of exceptions.
Okay,
actually.
that's
There's plenty of
There's a lot of exceptions.
There's Wellspring, there's Iron Hands, there's Ceruledge. There's plenty of exceptions, right? But the point is, like,
you sold it very well, though.
The point is that anything that's not an exception is just immediately bad, in my opinion.
That sentence did grammatically make sense. Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
Like anything that doesn't, allow you to like cheat prize cards is kind of just bad in that case, right?
Yes.
So I think that's what makes the deck good. Soul Rock is nice, obviously, but like not Soul Rock. Lunatone is really, really nice. Added draw is good, but like we're playing Goldengo. Like, we don't really need the added draw. It's just a bonus at that point.
Correct.
I think the Soul Rock's like really strong. It's like a great initiator into basically every matchup, depending on how the turn 1 plays. And I think from there, like the rest of the deck is just consistent, right?
Yeah.
It's just normal Goldengo. Goldengo was already strong, already had a good matchup spread. I think Solrock as an early game attacker is just a ridiculous buff to the deck, in my opinion.
And I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mr. Blanks, that's great advice, by the way. Lemon juice, hot water, ginger cough drops. It's lovely.
I will be trying that tomorrow.
Excellent. For a second, I thought he said hot dogs. I'm like, you are in Chicago, but that does not seem like a cure. So I think you're actually highlighting a big thing. When everyone first saw this engine come out, all the focus was on Lunatone because getting to draw 3 cards in decks that typically have no engine is insane. But you're right, Solrock's probably the most powerful part of that combo.
Yeah. So as a big believer that Fan Rotom is the best attacker in Raging Bolt, I was a Solrock believer from day one.
Okay.
I see 70 damage for 1 energy, and I'm like, oh, we're so back.
To be fair, that is a very 10 years ago high end damage hit and efficiency. So it's weird in the hour of 330 HP guys to say 1 for 70 is insane.
But it is insane because there's Ralt and Hoot Hoot and Dreepy and Duskull, and I'm gonna be here forever if I keep going.
That's
but you get
totally
the gist,
fair.
right?
But yeah,
there's a lot of stuff you Soul Rock into turn 1, and if you're Soul Rocking into a Monkey Dory, that's obviously not a good time, right?
Correct.
But
don't do that.
Don't do that. There's niche situations where it's technically okay.
Yeah.
But that's only if you think your opponent's staying in the active, which is rare because why would they do that? Besides the point. Yeah, I think this deck is just cool. I think it's really, really good. I think it's generic. I think it's basic. I think it's
trade F.
It's good.
Everybody hates Cornerstone. Right there with you. Yes,
for sure. It's consistent. It's powerful. It's generic, and I think in a blind meta, that's the most important thing you can do. Right. I wouldn't over tech. I wouldn't worry about crazy homebrews. I can worry about that for next regional. Right.
Yeah.
For this regional, I want to play the most consistent deck with the most raw power, and I think that's just going to give me the best odds.
So I'm actually taking a very similar tack to you, just with a different style.
Well, sure.
I'm probably playing Dragapult Duskmar.
Yeah.
Because everything you've just described there, inherent draw engine,
for sure,
inherent power and strength, some of the best, most powerful attackers in the game. And the ability to cheap prizes and put your opponent in bad position. All of those things also apply to Dragapult. Now, granted, there was no Psyduck that prevents Goldango, and so
of course
that's a little problematic. But it's a trade-off. Goldango's going to be more straight-on aggressive. Dragapult,
for sure.
I don't have to take prizes until I win the game if I don't want to.
For sure. I think Dragapult's just really good for the exact same reason. In the meta, just looking at the meta in a as just the meta, right, in a vacuum, right? I actually think Dragapult's not very well positioned.
Correct.
But Dragapult just has so much raw power. Lily is a great buff to the deck. Badoo's still good. Dusknoir's still good. Counter to Dragapult, whatever. Dragapult stuff is still good, right? Iona to 2, Fan Dive, if you don't win this turn, I win next turn, is still good, right? It's still applicable to basically every matchup.
Yes.
That's not going away. So, I don't think we're playing Dragapult as much as we're playing Dragapult now in 2 months. Sure. But Milwaukee's not in 2 months, so...
Well, and that's... I'm actually really curious to see how the meta shifts, because you're right. This is the first tournament in a new format. And the new format, even if there's not a wildly powerful archetype that came with it, there are so many essential pieces. So, Christian, I'll let you go chill, but I want to ask one question first. What do you think is actually going to... Well, 2 questions. I have 2 questions.
Okay.
One, what do you think is actually going to win Milwaukee?
It is going to be either Goldango or Gardevoir.
That's reasonable. So, number 2, if someone is going to pick up Goldango, what's your advice for him?
Don't overthink it. Just play Goldango Solrock. Remember that Solrock is the best attacker in your deck. Play a basic, consistent list, and punch thing hard.
That seems reasonable. Christian, thank you very much, man. Good seeing you, boss. Yeah. I will definitely catch up with you, and Brian will get you back on here. So everyone, like we said, Christian, Sticks PTCG, awesome dude, great content, brilliant player,
punch
regional
thing
winner.
Hard. That's something to live by right there.
Dude, it's great advice. I love it. So, Bryce, can you actually throw up the Goldango list? I wanted our conversation with Christian to be about Christian, but now we should probably talk about Goldango because, like Christian was saying, this is a pretty good deck, man.
Yeah, pretty good. And I like how we have a new... first thing I already noticed is we got a split of Gimme Ghouls now. It used to be just minor errand running was the most optimal one, but now we have the slap one and we have the call for family one, so we have a lot of options here. And then the 2/2 Solrock and Lunatone is kind of like what Christian was saying, best attacker in the deck. You got your draw engine and all that stuff, so super solid stuff we're seeing already. Vitality Band, we were talking about the Vitality Band's fire.
We recognize Vitality Band is probably not intended for Goldango itself, but it is a pretty good math fixer, as we saw.
Yeah, definitely. So I really like the Vitality Band. It's definitely something I'll try to incorporate in my own list. Yeah.
So one of the reasons why we threw this up here is because obviously this is a pretty simple, basic list. But going into Saturday, I think in my mind, Brian, it is good to pick your archetype early. Pick what you're going to play early. Grind it, grind it, grind it, get familiar. But I don't think there's anything wrong with changing the last 58th, 59th, 60th card before Saturday. So
yeah, definitely.
What we showed you guys here is a base list. I think this is one of like the most recent winning lists from an online tournament. And a spec of Trolley, very consistent. For Arvin, for Gust. Just draw through your deck with all your abilities and then use Gust for your supportive return is fantastic. But this deck has a lot of other inclusions we can consider.
I think the biggest thing that I always forget to mention is that now that we play Trolley instead of eSearch Pro, our damage is much more consistent because we don't have to worry about prizing like one off of like your grass or your water energy or anything like that. We don't have to worry about playing stuff like Levincia in order to get like lightning energies back and stuff like that. So it lets us just run Artisan instead and helps more with the consistency. So I think that's probably the biggest, really big like benefit to this deck along with the Lunatone.
So trade-off, I think it is an excellent point, and I think Gong is a huge piece. So Bryce, can we go to the options? And dude, you could not have transitioned better for us.
Yes.
There are, oh wait, there's no Gong on here.
Oh wait, no, that's, oh, I didn't put the Gong there. I thought every list was running Gong, so that's why I didn't put the Gong on there.
Wait, is this Ceruledge or is this
no,
Goldango?
That's a Goldango one.
Oh, that's right. Some people say Ceruledge. Yeah, so trade-off, definitely Gong should be on here. But Gong is definitely an option and inclusion to play. And what Brian put together here is these are a bunch of the different cards that can also fit in Goldango if you're trying to do something crazy. So
plus
Brian,
Gong.
well, plus Gong, yes, please. But dude, tell us a bit about the Pokemon options because I think there's a weird collection here.
Yeah, it's funny too because like after I finished making the picture, Kev was like, "Oh, you should put Monkey Dory on there too." So plus Monkey Dory on that one also. So there's just like a bunch of stuff from past formats that you can kind of just slot in. Just because Goldango has always been one of those Pokemon that you can, or one of those archetypes that you can always play different versions of, and they all somewhat kind of do the same thing, but have different like advantages that you can kind of add onto them. Like, I mean, the Genesect, the Ace Nullifier, you put a tool on there, kind of like a TM Evo or any like a Bravery Charm or something like that, and all of a sudden your opponent can't use Ace specs.
Yeah.
The Togekiss was really popular around Worlds time just because it helped a lot with the single prizers. Just because, you know, as long as you roll one heads and get one extra prize, it pretty much serves its purpose already. Solrock and Lunatone, we already kind of like went over as being really good. Iron Bundle kind of helps as Pseudo Gust, and that really helps out a lot with like, you know, just general movement on the board. The Ceruledge I always like to include on there just because I know G-Shen played that to Worlds, and I thought that was super cool for the mirror match. And then the Baby Goldango has always been the big one prizer as well.
Totally not Hector. Thank you. Yeah, no. Wait, is that you, Dan? Anyway, if it is Dan, hi, Dan.
Yeah.
So I agree, and I think those are good points. It's all based around a similar to mechanic to what Christian was talking about, is in aggro matchups, how do you get ahead or stay ahead in the prize trade or force your opponent to fall behind? So if you use Solrock, it means you can have a one prize board and apply pressure. If you use Genesect, you can slow them down, stop them from taking their first knockout. Ceruledge lets you use Briar, and then Togekiss just gives you 2 or 3 opportunities to take a bonus prize. And I mean, all of them are really cool ways to try to sneak that extra prize in.
Yeah, definitely.
And now from the item and like trainer standpoint, we have Precious Trolley up here, but Goldango has a couple different ace specs it can play.
Yeah,
One,
definitely.
Precious Trolley.
Yeah.
You also mentioned the eSearch Pro, but also Prime Catcher is a very good one.
Yeah, I think Prime Catcher was like the first one that Goldango was kind of using.
Yes.
For the most part, I couldn't put multiple ace specs on this one because it treated it like a traditional deck builder, so it wouldn't let you put more than one ace spec.
Oh, that's rude. Okay.
On the thing, I was like, oh man, that's kind of. I mean, it makes sense, but it's kind of odd at the same time. But
Side note, shout out Limitless Deck Builder. If you guys need a good resource, Limitless is incredible, and if you guys can help support them, they're an awesome org that helps us out.
Definitely. Yeah, you definitely can't you should if you could. But yeah, the Precious Trolley is like super cool. And then on the other like trainer stuff, the Watchtower really helps with the Raging Bolt matchup.
Yes.
Which has kind of been one of the harder matchups for Goldango just because they have an easier way to take 2 prizers before you can. So being able to shut down the Noctowl engine is really good there as well. We saw the Picnic Basket in action, which was really cool from the last game because a lot of decks like what is it, the Marnie's Grimmsnarl, and Gardevoir, they really like to take advantage of using Monkey Dory to move damage counters around to take extra prizes. But if you play Picnic Basket, you heal yourself and you heal them too.
And
So that's
weirdly
huge.
enough, healing them is even more important. And we saw that in that last game with Screamtail. Clearing the damage off Screamtail completely like invalidated it as an attacker.
Exactly. Yeah, so that was super cool too. And then if you play the E-Search Pro route, you can play Levincia to get lightning energies back as well. So another thing to kind of think about.
Yeah, Levincia is a great stadium. There also was a purely lightning build that was going around before, but now I think the pure fighting build definitely is a little stronger because you do not have a lightning Lunatone to keep drawing new cards.
Definitely. Yeah, so I feel like this fighting build just increases the consistency a little bit more and just makes it gives you like alternate attackers, and it gives you ways to kind of navigate the early game a little bit better when you don't hit that buddy poffin.
Exactly. So, and I think with Goldango, Christian talked a bit about it. It is an aggro deck. Like, you are intending to get a lead and keep a lead and prevent your opponent from ever catching up. If you stumble in that at all, that is where you lose games. And I'll tell you, Brian, for me, that's probably the biggest strike against playing a deck like this is my decks suck. Like, I know I'm going to draw poorly. I know things are going to go awry. And so for me, it feels really good to know that I can still win the game late if my deck starts off slow. And for decks like this, Goldango definitely can come back, but it is a lot harder to make up lost ground than it is to stay ahead.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those decks that you want to get ahead on early. It's not one of those like you're losing till you win decks. It's like you're winning until you win deck kind of thing. Yeah, definitely. So
it's one of the weirder sentences I've ever heard, but 100% accurate.
It makes sense if you're in the hobby like us.
Yes, exactly. But no, Goldango is a deck where you win until you win. Dragapult's a deck where you lose until you win.
Exactly.
Control, Guardy, all those decks are also decks that you lose until you win. So for Goldango, it is so important to stay ahead. And that's also where stuff like Pokegear is a big help because it lets you continue to play the game and then use Tool Scrapper and stuff to prevent your opponent from setting up like not even a checkmate board, but a board resistant to you closing out the game.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so we are going to get into our next round in just a second here. And we have Mega Lucario versus Raging Bolt. And people, this is what we want to see.
Yeah, definitely. So it's funny because I played this matchup, like this exact matchup before on the Raging Bolt side, and I was feeling pretty good about it. I was like, oh, I knocked out a Mega Lucario EX. I got 3 prizes here. I ended up losing the game because I can't knock out another one.
That's probably... Wait, how could you... With Raging Bolt?
Yeah.
How can you not knock out another one?
Because I got Iono'd. And I couldn't really draw out of it at that point. And then they were just able to take a lot of easier knockouts on me because they have that Power Pro.
Yes.
The Power Pro, the damage modifier.
The Powerade, the dominant Powerade. And so we will see the flip. Eli's going first. And I mean, Eli just really wants a
Fan Rotom.
A Fan Rotom. Yeah, sorry. I was reading the Hoot. But actually, this is a pretty good hand for Eli.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, there's a lot of things that Eli can use here, so we'll kind of see what he decides to grab first, which is I'm pretty sure going to assume will be the Fan Rotom. And the nice thing about it too is if he grabs the Fan Rotom here, he already has Hoot, and I think he might have 1 Noctowl in hand as well. He can grab something like the Ditto here, so he can use that energy in hand to kind of set up his board with a better attacker in the active, something like the Baby Raging Bolt or something like that.
So I think what Eli is debating is we have 1 grass energy in hand, and it would be very, very cool to be able to Teal Mask Ogerpon here and draw into a different energy to retreat this Pheasantipity. And so I really wouldn't mind seeing Nest Ball for Teal Mask Ogerpon, but it looks like we're going to go for the retreat into it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. It's going to be one of those things where he can always use one of those Ultra Balls to get Noctowl instead, and he can, do the rest of his like moves and stuff like that anyways. But it also kind of depends because, I mean, if he got a really good draw off of that Ogerpon, it could definitely change a lot more things.
True. And so, okay, we do have the energy retrieval in hand, so we can just go and Teal Dance again.
Yep.
And honestly, I wouldn't mind that because I think getting energy on board in advance is going to be really important.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to go into Ogerpon here first, which is pretty good. And then we'll kind of see where Eli decides to take the rest of this turn. It's really good, though, already. I mean, Fan Rotom's in play. We got Hoot. We got Noctowl already. We got a lot of stuff to already work with. It's just about kind of extending that further.
So one thing I'm going to say here is I think the instinctive thing is, hey, Fez is weak to... Oh, we just pass it over. Okay. So Fez is weak to fighting, but to be honest, you didn't really need to get it out of the active this turn.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's nothing Alec is going to play that will actually one-shot it. And so, honestly, I probably would have liked to see the Teal Dance on the bench to bank the energy before anything else.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. There's a lot of other things you can kind of do to like really optimize, but at the same time, like Eli didn't really know what he was playing against beforehand, so I don't know how much that changes things, but sometimes those minuscule decisions can be made by like what archetype you're playing.
So that's a really good point. And not knowing that it is Mega Lucario, which to be fair, he probably knew. We're all talking about our decks here. But maybe that changes it. But actually, even in that case, I wouldn't know if I'd really want to put another 2-prizer in the active.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to see the ability come down here, draw 3. I think we have
Goodness, was that a good draw.
Yeah, the Riolu's coming down already. So we're going to get an attachment onto the Soul Rock.
I would have way preferred to see that go on the Riolu. What about you?
Yeah, I would think so too. But I think what Alec's looking to do here is hopefully find a way to retreat maybe and get like an attack. That's what I'm thinking is maybe the reason why we did that.
But why?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't think there's anything we can really grab here initially, unless he's thinking he can draw into something like Prime Catcher or something.
Well, there should be at least a couple air balloons. But to be honest, I don't know what hitting for 80 really does here.
Yeah, I don't know really what it does either. It doesn't really get you a knockout or anything right away, which is probably what you wanted anyways.
True. Spoon Squad, you're absolutely correct. 90, 30, 120. That technically would. I don't know what the odds are in actually hitting that, but it technically would. But this is honestly a pretty good hand for Alec.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to see the air balloon come down here. Artisan's going to come down here as well. And I'm thinking we probably just either grab another Riolu here, or we might see the Makuhita, because I saw that we did discard that Hariyama a little bit earlier. And it's pretty cool because it's like a on-evolved Gust, kind of like what Umbreon VMAX was.
Yeah.
Or like what Hop's Double kind of did.
I do think we want another Riolu because with Noctowl in hand, Teal Mask Ogrepaw on the board, getting a Riolu knocked out is a very, very real threat.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we're going to see the EXP share come down as well. It looks like we're just going to smack here with the Soul Rock.
And I mean, that's fine. 70 is still good. There's not a huge likelihood of the Soul Rock getting knocked out back. And with the experience share on the Riolu, we're going to be set up to attack with Lucario pretty quick.
Yeah, which is always pretty good just because the Lucarios, like once you put the 3-prizer in play, you kind of want it to start working right away because it does have a lot to kind of give your opponent if it gets knocked out.
It does.
So you really want to make the most of it right away.
So one thing that's tough is, I don't know if you heard Christian talking about a single energy for 70 damage is a huge deal.
Yeah.
It is, except for everything on Alec's board has 80 or more HP. So that Fan Rotom is not a great attacker here, although that Raging Bolt certainly is if it can get 3 energy on it.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny because the Bellow, or what was the first attack called? It's like Thunderburst Storm or something like that.
Thunderburst Storm, yeah.
It was like the most like important attack here. But now it seems that it's a Dragon Headbutt is the second attack, I think.
I don't know, actually.
I think it's Dragon Headbutt, but whatever that is,
It is Dragon Headbutt.
Yeah, that attack is going to be so much more valuable now going into this format just because of how like valuable that number is, that 130 is to knock out stuff like the Soul Rock and the Lunatone.
So that's actually a fair point. I will say right now, I think what Eli really wants to do is to snipe one of those Riolus, especially the one with the experience share. Because like, if Alec wants to hit into this Raging Bull for 70, Eli's like, thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that extra turn. So is there a way for Eli to get this?
I think so. I mean, the Crispin's going to grab a couple energies. They're going to go onto the Raging Bolt. And you can also use the Earthen Vessel to get some of those grass energies as well. And the grass energy can be accelerated for free. And I think Eli had in his initial hand an energy switch, so he can always use that to move onto the Raging Bolt.
So all of that is true. The only caveat is we currently don't have a way to get this Teal Mask Ogrepaw out of the active.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So it would definitely be nice if we had like something like Latias with Area 0 as well, but we'll kind of see if we have anything like that. We do have, I think, another Ultra Ball in hand as well, so we could always search out another like Noctowl as well. Oh, we have another one in hand.
Yes, and so we can do that. The risky part of that is we're out of owls.
Yes.
And so if we do experience any disruption, that could be a little tough. But yeah, if we get that, and then we get Nest Ball for Latias.
Yeah, which we do have in the deck. I
Yeah,
didn't see it.
we are cruising here. So we'll see the. Do we have it?
I thought I saw it towards the beginning of the deck.
There's a Mew.
There's a Mew.
There's not a Latias. So we
yeah,
may have to. Oh, is there?
Yeah, he passed by it like a few times already.
Oh.
Yeah, there's definitely a Latias there.
Why do you think we're hesitating here?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe he saw it. What? Oh, he has Ultra Ball too, so we could always search out that too. Maybe he's thinning down the hand to get the Latias, and then he's gonna restart.
I mean, that would make sense. We still have 2 bench slots remaining.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what Eli's calculating is how many bench slots do I have left? Will I be able to get down a Bolt EX in order to reach on a Lucario?
Yeah, that might be what we're thinking too.
Okay, so we are going for the Mew.
Yeah. Interesting.
That is interesting. What do you think the decision is here?
I know, that's what I was thinking too, just because I thought it was going to be one of those things where we just use the Latias for the free retreats.
Yeah, I imagine we see the attachment.
Yeah, we see the attachment. Another Ogerpon. We retreat.
Oh!
Okay.
And then we have energy retrieval.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
and so
that
that makes a ton of sense.
That might have not been energy switch then. I thought it was. It might have been just retrieval. Unless. Oh, it is both.
It is
He
E-switch.
is both.
Okay, okay.
He's got both.
And so Alex just
yeah, he's just a nod.
come on, man.
Yeah, shaking his head about that one.
All right, so we do see the knockout on Riolu with the experience share. And I mean, Brian, as much as a single prize knockout's a huge deal, that seems like a huge deal.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Just because of how much setup it kind of requires, because you go straight from the basic into the 3-prizer here. It's definitely needed. And another thing is that the Soul Rock can't trade into the Raging Bolt because it needs to 2-shot it.
It does. So
Yeah.
it would technically need 2 Power Pros.
Yeah.
So it would be able to reach. And Fizzle, yes, we did just use double knocked out to take a 1-prize knockout. But that's a pretty impactful 1-prize knockout.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Just because it is like a big like part to your early game plan. It seems pretty on par with like taking like a knockout like that for something like a Dracloak. I would think so, just because like Dracloak is like a big draw supporter, you know. If it's like the only one on the board and stuff like that, it's I feel like on the same kind of level as that.
And I think that makes sense. So Alec is debating using this Baby Lucario, which will hit for 150 because a fighting Pokemon was knocked out. The one thing in Fizzle, I think you make a great point with this. Eli had multiple Ultra Ball in hand. I think it would have been so important to get down a Hoot Hoot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because as the game kind of goes on, we're definitely going to need more of those anyways.
Yes.
And if this Lucario is going to be trading, then it's going to be a little hard to kind of respond to that as well.
So we do hit another Riolu, which
Yeah,
is a
another
huge
Riolu
deal.
is huge here.
We're also able to draw with the Lunatone now, which is good.
Yeah, so the Gong can get something like an energy to draw more, or we can get like the Makuhita here, like we were kind of talking about earlier, which could be also really good too.
And I think the decision on Alex end to get the Makuhita is saying that there's not a lot of likelihood Eli's able to gust knock out this Riolu.
Yeah.
And if so, this Lucario is still applying a good bit of pressure. Because even that 150 can be modified more with those Power Pros.
Yeah, definitely can. So we'll see the Lunatone ability come out here, draw 3. Looks like we're going to get our Ace spec here too. Is that Max Belt?
It is, and the Max Belt is typically the Ace spec in this Mega Lucario deck because 130 plus 50, 180 is very close to ton of excellent modifiers of 210, then you hit 240.
The second attack with the 2 energy does 270 base.
Exactly.
And then that can get you to Dragapult numbers.
100%. And also with the 1 E-Power Pro and the Max Belt, it also lets Mega Lucario one-shot Gardevoir EX.
Yeah, definitely, because you need the damage modifier to get past the resistance.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's very tough to kind of do. I know this matchup for Gardevoir is not the greatest, but it's still a super cool deck. I really like how a lot of people are kind of underrating the Megas going into this format, and they're starting to get some ground here, which is kind of cool.
No, I'm going to disagree. I think they're rating them pretty darn well because this is a cool deck.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It is a powerful deck.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what the Megas really do going forward. So I was definitely not expecting this many of Megas to kind of be like seeing play like this. The Absol.
Well, so
Yeah.
that is the
Yeah.
one that I think is throwing me for a loop. That
Yeah.
Absol, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but that one is a very, very powerful card in a very weird deck. And yes, Fizzle, we have at least one person
Yeah.
playing the Tord list.
At least one person.
But we did not see a Sada for Eli. Mr.
Yeah.
Elo boy, I'll check on that. We don't typically see a ton of control, but
Yeah.
Tord's list is kind of like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we definitely see more control in like our cups and challenges too.
Wait, did we hit a Sada?
I think we did.
Okay, well, that's a big
Yeah.
deal. I didn't see the Sada, but that actually ended up being a huge draw.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like going into the Koraidon here is a really good way to kind of follow up from the last knockout here. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, we played the ancient Pokemon, so the damage is going to get buffed here for the Koraidon, and we'll be able to trade.
And now Eli's back on even prizes, which weirdly enough is less of a big deal because Alex is going to put down a 3-prizer, but it still keeps it as a 1-to-1 trade.
Yeah, which is super cool here. So the Koraidon, I know Eli has been talking up the Koraidon pretty lately, so it's cool to see it in action here.
It is. So the one downside for Eli with Koraidon is not going to do 180 damage next turn.
Yeah.
Because it only does extra damage if one of your other ancient Pokemon used an attack during the last turn.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we'll kind of see what we can do from here. I think Eli did it, though, knowing that the Koraidon was going to get knocked out here, so I think it's okay.
So I think he was assuming it would. But Alec now has an opportunity to say, hey, I could knock out that Raging Bolt.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see, is if he can kind of sequence a way to kind of do that. Trying to see how we can do it, because I mean, if we get the Hariyama here, the Hariyama could definitely bring up that Raging Bolt, and we can use the Max Belt for it.
And so we see the Ultra Ball. We have the Max Belt. We have a Power Pro. That's going to put us at 210. We are 1 Power Pro away from one-shotting that Raging Bolt.
Yeah.
I mean, do we have to dig for it?
I think we might have to. I mean, we have a lot of stuff. We got research here to kind of help us with that. So we can play the Power Pro. We can use the Ultra Ball to get like the Hariyama. And then we can also, probably get something like Fez here too.
I don't think Fez would be a bad grab. We do also need the Mega Lucario itself.
Yeah.
And we have at least a couple in deck.
Yeah, and we also have the Hariyama too. So I'm just wondering which one we grab right now. And let's see here.
And so, people, whenever you're thinking of sequencing, it's all about checking your outs. If you have 2 Hariyama in deck and 1 Mega Lucario EX, you get the Mega Lucario.
The Mega Lucario, yep.
Especially, and this is something I've gotten punished for, even if your perfect turn includes Gust, but if you don't attack, you're cooked, then you go for the attacker to give yourself at least a high enough floor to keep playing the game.
Yeah, definitely. And I think another thing to kind of mention too is like what's in your discard. Because even if you have a couple of them in the deck, but you have like stuff in your discard, and you have like high counts of like Night Stretcher can always grab that stuff for you too. So that could be something to think about for the Hariyama, because we know that there's some in the discard.
And actually, please attach the air balloon. Please attach the air balloon. Please attach the air balloon.
And I thought we were going to play the research here.
No, I actually would love to see the Iono.
The Iono, okay.
But please attach the air balloon. Yeah. All right, so, Brian, the reason I'm saying the Iono is because Eli's hand is stacked.
Yeah.
And so even if we're not able to do the attack we want, still being able to take a knockout and to, like, make it harder for Eli to respond is a big deal.
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely get behind that. So let's see what we have here. So we have the Hariyama. We have a Gong.
We do. So we missed the knockout on Raging Bolt.
But we can still knock out like a Teal Mask. We can still knock out the Mew.
Right, but I don't know if we want to. Yeah. So the issue is, I actually wouldn't mind us knocking out Fez. But the issue with this is, if we go take a knockout on anything that isn't that Raging Bolt, and we leave the Koraidon alive, Eli is a single fighting energy away from ending our Lucario's miserable existence.
Yeah, very true.
And so missing that E-Power Pro is a big deal. I mean, is there any other sequencing thing you saw that could have been different?
I mean, I think the only like very minuscule thing was if we could play the air balloon, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, that could be definitely something to think about. But yeah, not really much else. I mean, we kind of did the most that we could. So the Hariyama is going to bring up. It's got the Gust ability on there. Let's see what we bring.
I gotta imagine it's either a Fez or a Teal Mask.
I think so. probably the Fez here. I feel like the Fez is pretty good. I mean, they have their own benefits, right? Because the Fez can get you more cards next turn, but at the same time, the Teal Mask, it could be taking an energy out of play, which is also important as well.
And we will take out the Teal Mask. I don't know if I love that decision per se, but at least we will see a knockout.
Yeah, definitely.
And the nice part is with 4 energy in the discard, we're actually going to be able to set up Hariyama in order to be a follow-up attacker, which is great.
Yeah. Is the Hariyama a very good attacker, though? I mean, it has 3 energy on the attack here. And I think
so it does
Bryce
210.
Bryce is bringing it up already. Is it 210?
210 for 3, and you do 60 damage to yourself. Oh, no, it's just 310. Yeah, 210 flat. Which, to be honest, is pretty good.
That's an old one.
So we will see the knockout for 2 prizes. Eli goes into the Mew. We draw for turn. Alec gets their 2 prizes. But now Eli can try to respond.
Yeah, definitely. So we see another Raging Bolt coming down already. Let's see, we're at 4 energy already.
Oh, well, that's not great for Alec.
So we're going to see more energy coming down here.
I would not have minded Air Balloon on Makuhita research. To be honest, I still think the Iona was correct.
Yeah.
But I think the Iona was correct if we reach the knockout on Bolt EX.
Yeah.
We see Fez for 3, so oof. This Mega Lucario is going down here, Brian.
Yeah, it definitely is. So we're going to see it get knocked out here very, very soon. So we're going to see another attachment for turn, just adding a little bit of insult to injury here before we see a 3-prizer getting knocked out. Dan, 3-prizers are back.
They are, and they're very, very quickly gone because that thing stayed on the board for a single turn before getting obliterated.
This is crazy to think about already that we have 3-prizers again.
Well, and here's the thing. You only need 5 energy to knock it out. There are a total of 8 energy on that board. So we are just absolutely chilling right now. We haven't even needed to discard a lightning or a fighting yet.
Yeah, so looks like we go for that, and we have 5 energies to knock out.
Yep, 5 energy, 3 prizes for Eli. Goes down to 1 prize remaining, and Alec goes, poop. Where do I go from here?
Yeah.
Go into the Lunatone with the air balloon.
Well, we draw into the Lucario here.
We do, which is good.
Yeah.
And I think we probably got to knock out the Fez here, right?
Yeah, I think that's got to be the move here, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, so we're going to put all the birds in the discard pile here. We're just going to move towards mainly a 2-prize board here because at this point here, Eli can pretty much keep anything on the board, and we're fine. So we're going to put the energy into play here.
Brian, I would have much rather see that be a Makuhita or a, is it not a Makuhita?
The Hariyama.
Hariyama, yes.
Yeah.
Would have much rather see a Hariyama here because knocking out that Fez would be much more important.
Oh yeah, definitely. But you know, we don't really get punished too hard here because we can grab it from the Ultra Ball.
We can. And we also have a Gong for fighting energy to draw and have enough cards to Ultra Ball away.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, hopefully we choose to knock out the Fez.
Yeah, hopefully. That would definitely be ideal.
And, I mean, we have the Gong to get the energy. We can then search out the Hariyama. Like, there's a chance here where Alex still puts themselves into a winning position.
Yeah, definitely. So, kind of see what we end up with. But I think that's a good... I think that's probably the reason why Eli put down the Mew so early is because he was anticipating the late game Iono.
Yes.
And I've definitely gotten an earful from Eli before for not putting the Mew down as early in the game and getting Iono to 1 and not being able to play the game. So it's definitely a very plausible thing to do. And it's and we're glad that he was able to put down both that, put that instead of the Latias that one time.
So we do see the knockout on the Bolt. And we top deck Asada. All right, so I stand corrected. With the top deck Asada, knocking out the Fez would have done nothing. And unfortunately now, we're 1 energy away from knocking out this Lucario.
Yep, and we still have Fez.
Oh, or we have Prime Catcher.
Oh,
and Prime Catcher will do plenty as well. So we see Raging Bolt EX take the knockout, destroy Mega Lucario. I say that, but it's pretty close. But yeah, do we have a second game, Bryce?
Oh, perfect.
Awesome. And we see Emma, who is one of the best players in the world right now, playing against A matchup we didn't expect to see here in Hydrapple.
Hydrapple EX.
Brian, what is happening here?
I don't even know what Hydrapple EX does. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'll tell you what Hydrapple EX does. So it has an ability, once during your turn, you can attach a grass energy from your hand to one of your grass Pokemon. And then for, I think, grass colorless, it does 30 damage plus 30 damage for each grass energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 energy on the board. That would be 240. But, fun fact, Meganium has an ability that doubles the amount of energy attached to all your Pokemon. And why did we not take a knockout? Does it cost 3 energy to attack for Hydrapple?
Good question. I'm very unfamiliar with a Hydrapple EX, so
I'm confused.
Yeah. Let's see, but
no, it's 2 energy.
Oh, is this was the Terrapagos attack used? The Crown Opal?
But it only blocks basics.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
a little confused.
Confused.
Yeah. Unless there's only 1 energy on that Hydrapple EX in the active.
Well, there is, but there's Meganium down.
And
so there's enough energy to attack.
What just happened? I don't know. Wait, the Meganium? What was the Meganium? I wasn't paying attention.
Meganium ability. You weren't paying attention.
No,
Brian, I'm sitting right here.
I was looking at the Hydrapple. I was looking at the Hydrapple picture.
So Meganium is one of the new cards from the new set Mega Evolution. It has the ability that says each grass energy attached to your Pokemon provides 2 grass.
Oh, 2 grass. Okay.
So Hydrapple had the knockout on the turtle.
Terrapagos.
What did we miss?
Yeah. Interesting.
I'm very confused here.
See
now,
here.
granted, we're still in a position where we only need to get, what is it? I think it's 30 plus. Yeah, 30 plus. We need 7 energy down, so we really need 3 energy on the board. And, I mean, we're there if we Teal Dance and use the ability for the knockout.
But that Ogerpon with all the energy on it last turn got knocked out. Yeah.
I don't know if Toby knows Crown Opal's only basics either.
Yeah, that's what Tony just said.
Yeah, Tony, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate. Guys, biggest lesson we can tell you about regionals, read the cards.
Yeah, read the cards and know what the cards do.
Because that is going to be a key piece to being able to win these games.
Yep, so we're going to see Quick Search probably for Boss, right? Oh,
Briar.
For Briar. Oh, Briar.
And we see the knockout. And unfortunately, I think if Toby just knew that Crown Opal only blocked basics, this game would have been done.
Yeah, definitely.
Brian, can you go check and see if he knew that?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I want to make sure we're helping our locals know what to do, because that's not great, guys. That's not great. But regardless, Emma is an incredible player, so I'm not surprised that she is doing well. But the Hydrapple EX is not a deck I thought we were going to talk about, but man, the thing's kind of cool. The Force of Vitality is a huge addition. Meganium is a huge addition. Teal Mask Ogerpon's obviously big. It's kind of a cool deck. I will tell you all honestly, though, I did not prepare a deck list for that one, because that is probably going to be a 0.3% deck in Milwaukee. But as we're waiting for Brian to get back here, are there any decks you guys would want to talk about? Because we've got a couple lists teed up, and I know I want to talk about my deck, because that's the one I'm probably running. Yeah, Tony, I agree. I think Apple had the game and just, I don't know if we had an in real life misclick or, yeah, Mr. Blanks, I think you're right. I think there was game there. Bryce, are we missing something? All right, no, that's fair. We're all on the same page. Well, except for Toby, unfortunately. All of us but Toby are on the same page. I think Emma's also on the same page, because you can see her expression of, what is happening? Why am I alive? Bryce, do you want to go ahead and throw up that Dragapult list? Because we're going to take a break in between these games, and we're going to talk about Dragapult, which is my favorite deck, which I think is still one of the best decks in the format. And I will tell you all, this is pretty close to the list I'm thinking of playing for Milwaukee. And I'll tell you, the only cards I'm really thinking about are second Jamming Tower, third Luminous, and that's basically it. And the cards I'm considering, which I'll have a couple options up in a bit, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think this list is pretty set. The only thing I'm considering is third Dragapult. I think all 3 of those could be different cards. And so obviously Psyduck is a problem. So one of the things I add in here for a little bit is a second Hawlucha, Another thing I had in here for a little bit is a Tool Scrapper. But to be honest, I mean, at the end of the day, if I can just Dust Noir, Phantom Dive, take 3 or 4 prizes, man, I'm feeling pretty good. And Mr. Blank's Alakazam Dun Dun is a very fun deck. I think it's decent. It's a really good aggro deck, but I cannot possibly overstate how much Dragapult cooks it, regardless of Psyduck or not. Bro, that thing is... It ain't close, homie. What was the result?
It was just because of the Crown Opal.
Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, we talked about it a little bit, and then I was also informed that Josh Philippe is 2-0 with Wugtrio.
Put that man on stream.
That's what I was told. So
okay, I'm literally messaging the same saying if Wugtrio is 2-0. Put it on. That's insane.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to have some shenanigans for you guys next round. But, Brian, we're just talking about Dragapult here. And Christian mentioned it a little bit. But, I mean, dude, meta fit aside, this is just a really good deck.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a deck that has Recon Directive, where you can see a lot of cards, you have the Dusknoir engine, you have, like, high Iono counts, you've got... Ooh, Double Bear is kind of interesting.
That should not be Double Bear. Why are there 2 Bear? There should not be Double Bear.
All right, don't do Double Bear. But
yeah, I was like, there had to be another spot in here.
Yeah.
Merrick for committing 4 candy to a 3/1/2 line of Noir. So that works great until they buddy poffin for Duck turn 2. And actually, one of the things I had in this list was 3 Duskull. And I'm kind of moving away from that for the exact reason of if someone puts down a Duck, Duskull line is still good, but I have to work so much harder to get it that I'd rather not lean into that fully and would provide more outs to other stuff that could be beneficial. But, Brian, what were you saying there, aside from don't play 2 Bear?
Yeah, I'm trying to think about how many cards we have in this list now.
There's 60 cards. There's 60 cards. So second Bear was 3rd Duskull, and that should be something different.
Okay, so now we have something to think about for what this list should be. But
right, so we could talk about
that. Yeah. But, I mean, I really like the list. I mean, people are underrating Dragapult, and I think when you underrate Dragapult is when it's going to do its best. It's kind of like Mew VMAX in a way.
It is. Sorry, Merrick. Monkey, I agree. Anything over 2 Bear. And then Duck turn 2 over 3rd Waltz is fair. I don't know if Guardy's actually going to play Psyduck, but stuff like Charizard, maybe some Dragapult for the mirror, stuff like that could definitely play it.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be some niche uses. It's going to be kind of like Shaman, I feel like. Because Shaman's not really seeing too much use right now, but there could be a lot more decks that get like niche use out of it in the future.
I agree. And so I think it's all going to depend on what is the power of the thing it's blocking. And right now, Dragapult is really the only deck playing Dusknoir except for Charizard, which is a smaller percentage. So I think a lot of decks you only play Psyduck if you have a horrible Dragapult matchup and think that will fix it. Merrick, I'm also all for Duck over 3rd Mander. Please inform all of your Charizard opponents that that's the right choice.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's a problem, Mr. Blanks. For those who aren't reading YouTube comments, got cooked. Plain Alakazam, a Dragapult opponent hit Halucha, double Dusknoir, and completely wiped the board. It's gross.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Brian, Bryce, if you can throw out the backup options, what are some of the good options to include in here?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Rare Candy. Rare Candy's been more popular lately, which is I'm very glad for, because being able to just go straight into Dragapult can definitely throw a lot of people off because they're very used to the slow play style of Dragapult anyways. So it could definitely throw off people. Monkey Dory is always good. It takes advantage of Luminous Energy really well. Halucha kind of sets up math really well, which is good. The Psyduck we were kind of already talked about as just being able to turn off a whole engine, which is really good. Tool Scrapper, Tool Scrapper is good. Just being able to take off stuff like air balloons, TME, I guess TMs it doesn't really help with at the moment, but just like a lot like Bravery Charms, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Super good. Duskull, Dusknoir, like an entire engine, so I know people play it without the ghost, so there's a lot of good stuff with that too. Maractus is good. I know both of us are very adamant about being able to respect Retreat Lock going into this event. So Maractus is one of the big ones that does that, and the Exploding Needle ability is still really good because upon knockout, putting 60 damage onto the active is really good. Shaman is just good general setup, protects a lot of the babies, which is good. Some of these other ones are a little bit older, like the Genesect. It's not really used as much anymore. That was on like the Slowpolt with the Ace Nullifier being able to prevent stuff like Prime Catcher and Fair Stamp, stuff like that. Turning that off is really good. Air Balloon's good just because being able to retreat stuff like, like the bear, like those other like really hard Pokemon to, get out of the active, which is good. TM Evo is not really super common, but if you're playing stuff like Genesect, TM Evo is good too because you can set up your board more.
Yes.
Lux Cape for Badoo. If you're playing Badoo, Turo is always good too. Just being able to recycle Pokemon and take out damage liabilities as well.
And I think for most of these cards, they either could slot into the list as a one-of, or like we have Halucha up here, you could thicken the line. You could add more Duskulls, more Dust Noirs. The ones I really wanted to hit on are Tool Scrapper. I think Tool Scrapper could be an option over second Jamming Tower. Now, for me, I think looking at what decks are coming out, having 2 Stadium Bounces is really important. Yeah. And I think that's really valuable. The Tool Scrapper, though, is proactive. And I think that can be so important because a lot of times when you're playing down that Jamming Tower, you are hoping that your opponent can't use their tools on their next turn. And Brian, you know what else stops your opponents from not using their tools?
Jamming Tower.
That and scrapping them away.
Yeah.
And if they don't even have the tool attached, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But for the last ones, I think if Jelly Guardy had not become as prevalent, I actually think there may have been an argument to go back towards an Arven build for Dragapult.
Definitely. Yeah. It's been a while since we've had Arven-based builds, but there's definitely like a world where that could have been pretty good.
And that's kind of my thought, because Candy is so powerful. Dusknoir, as much as it's cool to modify damage, it's really just great for wiping a board. So if you're able to have that high power swing turn, which Arven would really help enable, it could be great. But right now, with Jelly Guardy being big, with some Budu still being around, and with Dusknoir maybe getting turned off, I think you may just need to lean more into being a good Dragapult deck.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, so one question I have for you, too, with Maractus. So you and I had talked about the Retreat Lock is important.
Yeah.
How powerful do you think including Retreat Lock is right now?
I think it's good for decks that are slow, like Dragapult. Just being able to buy a turn or two is just so important. And we've definitely seen it where, being able to buy a turn or two with the corner, it's definitely like seen a lot of benefit. And now that we have the Yveltal, which does the same thing for dark Pokemon, that could also do a lot for those kinds of decks as well. Stuff like the Grimmsnarl and all that are able to buy turns while they set up.
That Yveltal, I think, is crazy for Grimmsnarl because of the free retreat, too.
Yeah, free retreat is even crazier. I mean, the Maractus has 2 retreat costs, which is why, Air Balloon would be pretty cool. But, yeah, free retreat is even crazier.
It is. It is such a good inclusion, because then you don't have to play something like Latios if the Cactus hits the board.
Definitely.
Excuse me. All right, so then the one last thing I will say is Monkey Dory, I think, for me, is a big consideration.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of decks like Tord's ridiculous deck. Yveltal, Mr. Elo Boy's crazy
even
in Zoroark.
Zoroark, yeah, that's even crazier, too. Yeah.
No, that's so good. So I think Monkey Dory being able to unfix math more than fix math, I think is a huge deal, especially with Psyduck going into a lot of decks that don't take one-shots. If you're able to knock out the Psyduck mid-turn to then Dusknoir, that's huge.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, so then, Brian, actually, are we almost at the next round, Bryce? So let me say one thing while we're here. Do you mind just throwing it on us? You guys should follow.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitch, like us, subscribe on YouTube, all those streamer things, because I never remember to do that, but we should probably do that.
Yeah, we probably should, but it's great that, the word's kind of going out and stuff like that. People are returning, which is always a good thing. We like to see the same faces and new faces come around as well, so it's great to see and just converse with you guys throughout. So if you guys are enjoying what we put out here, just keep coming back every week and keep talking with us.
Yeah, please. I like doing this.
Yeah,
I think you like doing this.
Yeah, I like doing this too.
Bryce is still here, so he apparently likes doing this. So please keep coming, hanging out, watching. It's awesome to have you all here. And I mean, listen, I'm a dad. I got a baby. Yeah. We got jobs. Yeah, we got careers.
Yeah.
It's just fun to have a weeknight be able to be something just purely fun of us yapping about Pokemon.
Exactly, yeah.
So I'll take it. So then, Brian, I did make a special request that we see shenanigans. And are we seeing shenanigans, Bryce?
There we go.
We are seeing shenanigans. So for our matchup, we are indeed going to see Wug Trio Mill. And Brian, can you tell the people what Wug Trio does?
Wug Trio, it's a mill deck. It has a undersea tunnel attack for 3 energy, and you flip 3 coins, or you throw the dice 3 times, and for every heads, you discard 3 cards. So you can discard up to 9 cards a turn if you hit the heads. And the big thing that it plays is it plays the reversal energy.
Yes.
You're going to be behind the entire game.
100%. You're not taking a single prize.
And then the what's that turbo?
Ignition energy.
Ignition energy. Yeah. So
Fizzle. You're exactly right. 4 reversal, 4 ignition.
Ignition energy gets you there too. Yeah.
Yes.
So ignition energy, it's one-time use energy. So as soon as you attach it at the end of the turn, it gets discarded. But being able to just accelerate 3 energy like that, just to be able to mill your opponent out, it helps. It's pretty decent support.
Well, and like you said, your dude has 90 HP.
Yeah.
He gonna die. He is not surviving a turn.
You're not attacking. You're not taking prizes. You're not going to be ahead at all during this game.
Wugtrio is not going to tank a single hit unless it's a Budu. So, I mean, you don't care if the energy gets discarded because it's going to get discarded anyway.
Exactly. And it also takes advantage of the Cloak engine to draw cards. So that's going to be kind of like what helps you throughout the game.
Well, I don't know if I would say bring this to Milwaukee, but, I mean, Josh is 2-0 with it today. It is a deck that has enough functionality because also you lilies for 8.
Yeah.
Every time.
Bring it to locals.
Yeah, bring it to locals. This thing is awesome.
Yeah.
But being able to lily for 8 means you are so much more consistent too. So we could see some gaming here.
Yeah, definitely.
Bryce, are we good to go to the game?
They're getting ready.
That's totally fine. Oh, and we're seeing it against Christian. Fantastic.
It's funny because they were playing this matchup before.
And so Christian was making a comment about how this is maybe not worth his testing time to play against Wugtrio Mill. And I have 2 points to that. Number 1, yes. Number 2, who cares, man? Yeah. It's locals and we are having a good time.
Yeah.
And we see the Diglett start. This is exactly what Josh wants. Okay. And so there is a chance for Christian to get a turn 1 knockout with Soul Rock, but man, we could see some stuff burn to the ground here.
Definitely. So we'll see what ends up happening here.
So one thing we should note too is Soul Rock does 70. With the Vitality Band, it does 80.
Yep.
Which is not enough to knock out a Wugtrio.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're going to have to hit with either Hops Cram, which isn't going to be able to attack, or Goldango. We're going to have to discard 2 energy every turn in order to take a knockout.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy to see. So we'll kind of see what we end up having here. So we're going to put down the Lunatone to start the game off here. And I wonder who's going first.
I'm also curious. We'll wait for Bryce to get back here. Oh, and we're going to get started here. And it looks like we're going to take our mulligan, and then Josh is going first.
Okay.
And we play the unfair stamp.
Yeah, so we'll probably just see the attachment, or no, probably no attachment here. Oh, the fan, and then we're probably just going to pass it over.
Do we have a second Dreepy in hand? We do not.
No, those are both your cloaks.
All right, so we're going to see, can Christian take a knockout turn 1?
It's not really, actually.
We've got everything except the switch out.
Yeah, besides the switch out. I don't even know if besides the air balloon, I think that's the only switch out we play.
But to be honest, hitting an Arven is all we need.
Yeah.
If we hit an Arven off of this draw with Lunatone, we're going to be able to one-shot the only Wiglet on the board.
Yeah, definitely. That would be huge. So let's see what we end up doing here. So I guess we're going to do the prize check first. Definitely appreciate that Christian doesn't do the 2-minute prize check that everyone seems to be complaining about.
So I will say, too, for everyone in Milwaukee, you do not need to let your opponent take a 2-minute prize check. Yep. You are absolutely within your rights to hold your opponent to the 15-second search and say, hey, you can take a look during my turn or at a later search, but we need to keep the game moving.
Yep.
Because, Brian, actually, I only tied once in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
Which, now, granted, about a half of my rounds almost went to time, but yes. And yes, Jewish Kid 22, Christian is here, and we are all very happy about it.
Yes, we're very happy to have him here. Trolley.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Is that an Arven?
Not Arven.
That is not an Arven.
Wait, what were the other cards here?
Not
Arven.
We have a Gimme Ghoul. We have
boss.
a boss.
It was boss, yeah.
Okay. Do we boss the Dreepy?
Oh, that's actually not the worst thing in the world. It looks like we might just attach retreat.
We certainly could, and I think Christian's making a really good choice. For all those, oh, that's awesome, Jewish Kid. Dude, Christian's a great guy. Like we said, he was down in Bloomington Normal for a couple years, and so he came to our locals pretty constantly. So it's awesome to see him back in town. And so, Brian, Christian's not choosing to play the Precious Trolley, And I love that decision.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely not needed right now. So it looks like we're just going to attach and pass here.
We see the draw. We see
Yeah,
the Iono.
Iono, okay.
All right. So for Josh, what I would love to see is whatever makes it easiest to find a switch out.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to commit to the ignition energy here.
Well, I would actually love to see this first. Do we have the Arven?
Okay, so we're gonna put down the Wiglet here, and
Which
looks like
makes
we
sense.
play the Iono, I guess, next.
I think that also makes sense. And just hope that in those 6 cards we find one of our air balloons or switch outs.
Yeah.
And then on Christian's end, Christian doesn't really care about that Iono. We're gonna apply pressure no matter what.
Yeah.
Redeemable ticket.
Reversal energy. Ooh,
we do not see the switch.
Not the worst thing in the world, though, because if anything, we could always just get knocked out the next turn and then just use reversal energy.
Well, that is very true. The nice part is, though, for Josh in slowing down the game, Christian's not going to knock out this Dracloak with Soul Rock.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be with Goldengo.
True.
And we did hit the Arven, but now that energy is just kind of stuck on the Lunatone.
Yeah, which isn't the worst thing in the world, because you always can just draw another energy. And plus, that energy is probably better off in the discard anyways.
That is true.
So you can just grab it and, just use that as your damage for the turn. But it looks like we're just going to play the Arven here first.
Jewish Kid, honestly, it just depends on the amount of coin flips. Because I think having a Super Rod, 2 Super Rod, nets a coin flip and a half. So technically it is an advantage, but it's still a coin flip and a half only.
Yeah, it definitely depends too, because if those Wug Trios are discarding your cards, you never know what's going to be ending up in that discard pile.
Right. If Wug Trio mills a Super Rod or a Night Stretcher, it's the same amount of resources.
Yeah, definitely.
So one thing though, and I think it's good to pay attention to this, Christian is doing a very good job of not burning through his deck. Because he knows there's no threat to knockout for any of his guys on the board, barring something crazy. So all Christian has to do is ensure that he uses exactly the right number of resources each turn to try to outlast this deck and just get a little good variance on the flips.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll kind of see what we end up doing with this Earthen Vessel here, but being able to grab the 2 energy, definitely good here. So, looks like we are going to discard the fighting. Trolley again.
Okay. We just keep finding the trolley.
Yeah. Now he's going to play the trolley.
And so we're going to have to get the Genesect. And so that's a big deal because it does give Josh a line to stick something up in the active.
Yeah, definitely. So it definitely seems to be risky to put down the Genesect just because, of it being such a liability. But it seems like we kind of have to in this case.
That is true. So we do have enough outs to take a knockout here. We have Superior in hand. We have Metal Energy to attach. And it looks like we're going to have to use a Superior, though, in order to attack.
Oh, it doesn't feel good.
No, it feels terrible.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice, though, that those Superiors are in the hand, though. Because if they're in the deck, it's kind of an iffy thing if they're gonna be in the discard pile or not.
I agree, and it looks like we're in a Superior Wave Vitality Banded Arven. Get likely all of this fighting energy back.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have them, but it doesn't feel good to have all these resources kind of like in your discard pile already just to take the first knockout on a single prizer that's not a Wug Trio.
Correct. Now, granted, Christian has technically gotten through 1 Ignition Energy, which is good.
Yep.
Now, granted, it happened because it got discarded, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
There's more reversals and Ignition Energies that come from here.
Yes. And we see the reversal come down. We will see the Lily's Determination, and that's so good for a deck like this because Josh has never taken a prize.
Yeah, so he's pretty much just going to be going to 8 cards in hand every single turn, which is kind of crazy to think about.
That is absolutely insane. And I know 2 cards doesn't sound like a lot, but that is literally a 33% increase off a shuffle draw.
Yeah.
That is so many cards. All right, and we'll see the 8 off the top for Josh. What he really wants is another out to Diglett and Dracloak.
Yeah.
So, Brian, what do we hit here?
Don't really get too much of a view of it yet. I think I see Arvin.
I see a Buddy
Yeah,
Poffin.
Buddy Poffin, which is good. A couple Buddy Poffins, actually.
Oh, that's huge then.
Yeah, so the Buddy Poffins are going to be good to grab some more Wiglets and some more Dreepies. Now let's see if we get anything else down here. I'm trying to see what other kind of fun one-ofs that Josh has in his deck.
Well, unfortunately, none of them are Dreepy, it looks like. So we do see the 4 Wiglet, which is good because we're going to be able to stream attackers, I say in heavy air quotes.
Yes, because it's not really much of an attacker.
Right, exactly.
More than a nuisance, if
well,
anything.
That is very true. But all right, so then with this one,
we got the counter
see
catcher.
the counter catcher.
The counter catcher is huge here already.
Now, Christian does have the air balloon in hand, so we are going to be able to easily retreat it, but this is going to cost resources.
Yeah, definitely will. So we're going to get the Dracloak back with the Night Stretcher. So we're going to see, let's see what we get here. There's another Wug Trio that looked like it, but he put that to the bottom. Another counter catcher. That's good.
That seems pretty. All right, let's see the first roll here.
Okay, at least 3 cards are getting discarded here. Energy, Gong, and Gimme Ghoul.
So
not the worst
just
in the world.
one heads. No, just one heads. But getting rid of some energy is good for Josh. Yeah. And we see the Turo. We did all see that, to be fair.
It's pretty good. Put that in the discard pile.
And with the Earthen Vessel, we'll get enough energy to take knockout. And this is good because it means Christian doesn't have to draw cards in addition to searching out energy.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing that's going to kind of suck about this turn is that with the fan, it's going to move the energy elsewhere. So we're probably going to put it on Lunatone or something like that.
So Christian could do something funny here. He could attach the fighting energy to the Goldengo. But I think Josh gets to choose which energy moves, which is less funny for Christian.
Yeah.
But
it's more funny for us.
It is very funny for us.
Yes.
But this is actually great pressure for Josh, too, because now it's going to force Christian to continually use resources.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see what we end up going with here. I wonder if we're going to actually see that fighting attachment here.
I don't know. I assume not, because Christian's going to want to keep that to attack later or to discard.
So it looks like we're going to see the knockout here.
See the knockout, and then move the energy to the Lunatone, I believe.
That's probably...
Yep. Okay, so Christian goes down to 4 prizes, and we get another chance to Wiglet.
Yep. So let's see where we're at here now. We're going to draw for turn. There's another Lilies. We see another counter catcher as well.
Honestly, I think counter catching the Soul Rock, if we're able to evolve up into a Wug Trio, would be a huge deal.
Yeah, definitely would.
All right, so what did we get off of that
we
draw?
We got a Buddy Poffin.
Which isn't the most helpful right now.
I know we can also guarantee the Wug Trio, because I think we have Hilda in hand as well.
Do we? I mean, is guaranteeing the Wug Trio the move here?
I don't know, actually. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, you could always just Lily to 8, which could get you a pretty high chance into Wug Trio, but it doesn't always guarantee it.
I think I would like to see the Hilda here.
Because the Hilda can also grab like an Ignition or Reversal Energy, too, for next turn.
Or we do see the counter catcher, so we are going to force that air balloon to come down, which is a big deal.
Yeah. So looks like we're going to play the Arvin.
Okay. And so with the Arvin, we can get a Night Stretcher or an Ultra Ball.
Ooh, Unfair Stamp. He's looking at Unfair Stamp.
Oh, that's really aggressive if we don't have a Wug Trio.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Brian?
I don't know, actually.
I will tell you what I think about it.
Yeah.
Known. Yes. I
Yeah.
believe Ryan is using Tord's deck. I don't know how he's doing right now with it, but we can check on that.
Yeah.
Bryce, what is Ryan's record?
It's funny because so many people are asking about the Tord deck.
I know.
Yeah.
1-1. All right. If he gets to 2-1, maybe we put him on the second one next time.
Yeah.
I'd be down.
Could be.
All right, so then, Brian, do you think we use the I guess we got to use the Unfair Stamp here, right?
Yeah, we definitely have to, just because we did search it out. So we might as well, I think. I don't know how I feel about it compared to like playing something like the Hilda.
I know exactly how I feel about it, and it's not very complimentary.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we had to use that Hilda or some way to guarantee the Wug Trio. Now, granted, if Josh hits it, I'm a fool.
Yeah.
And I'm okay being wrong, and I want him to hit it, but This is a high-risk play.
It is a very high-risk play, especially compared to stuff that would give you more cards, like Iono, Lilies, stuff like that could give you more cards, so it's a little tough.
Non and Fizzle, yes, I agree. Number one, no one has Towards Brain. But Ryan actually, I think, is a player who sees the game in that similar way. So I think he's going to do really well with that deck if he plays it. All right, so we hit a Wug Trio here. Show us a Night Stretcher.
Ignition Energy.
Oh,
man.
no.
Looks like we're going to get punished here.
But we're going to be able to dig for one. No, we discard nothing.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. And here's the issue. We're going to be able to take a knockout with this Soul Rock. Oh, that's so big for Christian.
Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, it's tough now because we could have guaranteed it, but now it looks like we might not even get it next turn either.
And that's the risk. So I think we have a Hilda in hand, so we will be able to guarantee it. But Christian's going to be able to take a knockout, start to fill his hand, and it's going to be so much harder for Josh to take some knockouts here.
Yeah, and it's tough too because as the game kind of goes on and gets a little bit later into the game, Christian can get a little more aggressive with how he wants to do things.
Yes, we do see the draw one. That is a boss's orders.
That could help for next turn too. So it looks like we're going to get the knockout here, and we're going to put that fighting energy probably on the Lunatone, I think.
I think you want on the Goldango because Lunatone can attack for
Lunatone
2 fighting.
Can attack, yeah, that's true.
But, I mean, we have the out to the Wug Trio this turn, and I think we have to take it.
Yeah, definitely do.
No. And Christian attempting to help himself a little bit, but that's not allowed.
Okay, so we're going to see the draw for turn. We're going to go with the Recon Directive. We're going to get the Hilda.
And my assumption is we're going to play that Hilda if we have it there.
That's what I'm thinking too. So it looks like we're going to play the Hilda. And we are going to get Wug Trio and another energy here.
Which makes sense, because, I mean, we just want to be able to stream it.
Yep.
Do you think this is a turn to get that reversal?
Probably. I feel like either one is okay. I think getting the reversal is fine here, just because if you think that you're going to be able to stay in the active for more than one turn, go for it. Otherwise, the ignition is usually the right play.
I think that's exactly my thought. I think there is a chance this Wug Trio survives.
Another
6
cards.
6. Okay, that's pretty big. Okay. Those are not bad cards to discard there.
Definitely. Let's see what we grab here.
All right, so we have a boss. We have Superior.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. So, I mean, Brian, how does Christian respond?
Yeah, so we're going to get the Superior Energy Retrieval here, and we're probably going to get something to potentially attack with, maybe. It's not great, though, that we had to take away our second Turo.
It is not. Now, granted, I think we're still going to be able to take a prize here with the Soul Rock.
Yeah, just because we do have Boss.
Yes.
Yeah, so Boss will be able to take out that Wiglet here. And we're down to one Wug Trio here, so I think Josh needs to find a way to get another Wiglet here.
Yes, agreed. And I think, that's so big. We hit the Iono, and I think we want the Super Rod, so that way we can, like, shuffle back into the deck.
Yeah. So it looks like going through the discards here, seeing what kind of resources we've used.
I mean, we know we have plenty of energy in hand.
Yeah.
And so Josh just debating, what did he take?
Yeah. Gotta find out. Arvin?
I mean, I think we have to Iono here, right?
Yeah, I think so too. Ooh, or we can just play the Arvin instead.
It may be Sacred Ash, actually. Jolly, I think we were just thinking, it is Sacred Ash.
Sacred
Our minds just went to Super Rocks. That's what we usually see. But we are playing Sacred Ash.
Yep.
We do see the handheld fan. And then now we get to take advantage of those Buddy Poffins.
Yeah, definitely. So Sacred Ash is going to be played. We're going to get some Wiglets back.
And I think, honestly, the 2 Wiglet is fine, and now you just need Wug Trios. Because if Christian takes 2 knockouts, he wins the game.
Yeah. we're going to see what else we have here.
All right, Buddy Poffin is good.
Yep. Yep, so we're going to put a Wiglet and a Dreepy down, and then the Artisan's going to get another Wiglet for us.
I don't know if we want that second Wiglet, though, do we?
Good question.
So
yeah.
The reason I'm thinking no is because that would open up, once we evolve up the other Dreepy and Wiglet, that would still allow a boss knockout by the Soul Rock.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think we want to minimize Christian's opportunities to win the game here.
Yeah.
All right, but I mean, we're going to be able to see the roll here. What do we get? 6
more cards.
Okay.
We got energy.
Okay.
Okay. Superior energy retrieval.
Okay.
Okay. Those are pretty good discards.
They are. Now, I think Christian still has the knockout, but things are still going to be sketchy here because if we do attack, we're going to get that energy moved back to the bench.
Yeah.
And we are starting to get low on cards here, people.
Okay, we have 12 cards, I think, in deck right now.
I think we are at 12.
Yeah.
No, we're at 12. We're at 12. Okay. So we can sustain 1 mega flip.
Yeah. Oh, man. So we're going to play the Arvin. So that's going to grab a couple cards, actually. So we're getting close.
We are. Oh, boy.
Ooh. Okay. So we're going to grab the air balloon and the superior energy retrieval.
Yes, and with 10 cards in deck, Christian will guaranteed survive 1 Wugtrio mill, barring something crazy coming off the top here.
Yeah.
I don't think there are any supporters in the game that mill off the top of the deck, right?
Not that I know of, because like the closest thing is like hand stuff, like Zerosix.
Yes, which
Yeah.
Josh has in hand.
Yeah. So he's going to retreat into the Goldango here. And I think he feels fine attacking with Goldango anyways, because either way, an energy is going to get moved onto a Soul Rock.
Well, we could move the metal onto the Lunatone.
Yeah.
But with the air balloon in hand, it is going to be possible for Christian to free retreat.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tougher. Unless we like draw into another Iono or something like that.
Very true.
Yeah.
And I think Christian's just debating drawing, but absolutely we do not want to.
Yeah, so we're going to get the knockout here.
We're going to move the metal, I imagine, to the Lunatone.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, metal to the Lunatone.
Yeah, all right. So we have Goldango active. We need a metal energy in order to attack. Christian has a superior energy retrieval in hand. And now this is a turn where I think Unfair Stamp could be brutal.
Yeah, definitely. So we have another 2 Dracloaks now. We just need to draw into Wugtrio here.
And I do think an Iono would be really, really important if we have one available.
There is one in hand.
Is there an Iono in hand?
There is.
And we see the Wugtrio.
We see the Wugtrio.
If we can Iono Wugtrio, that's huge.
There's Iono and there's Ignition Energy in hand currently.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then we'll Artisan. We don't need another Wiglet.
Yep.
We don't need the Wiglets. There's no need for Wiglets here.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine. It's all fine, guys. All right, so then, Brian, are we just attaching Ignition Iono?
I think so. That's got to be the play here.
I do see the Iono.
Okay, so we have the Ignition here.
Let's see it.
Yep,
Rip
let's
it.
see it.
Iono to 1. And now it may seem counterproductive to Iono to 1 when you're trying to mill. But if you stick your opponent's hand and get rid of the resources they need, Josh could seal up this game.
Yeah, definitely.
So what does Christian need to hit to win?
Like energy, I think, is like the only thing we really need.
Well, basically, we need outs to 2 energy.
Yeah, outs to 2 energy. We already get some pretty decent draw with the Goldango and the active here.
That's a lie. We need an out to 3 energy, 1 metal and 2 additional.
True.
All right.
Let's see. Let's see. Looks like we might just go for the mill here.
And let's rip it. How many do we get here? 1, 2, 3.
9.
3 heads. 9 cards go. Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. So the Bad news is that's closer to that superior that was in the previous hand, but goodness, did we get rid of a lot of important stuff.
Yeah.
Got an air balloon.
Air balloon. We draw 2 more cards this turn, too.
And Christian is debating it. Now, there is 1 superior energy retrieval in those 5 cards. So there's a 40% chance for Christian to hit it right here.
Let's see if we can grab it.
Let's go Dango.
Oh,
no! We whiffed the superior.
Yeah, we whiffed the superior. But then the ignition was discarded.
It is, but there's 1 in hand, I think.
Oh, man.
We are 1 heads flip away from Wug
Oh,
Trio
the bottom of
3-0 going into the final round. Incredible. Brian, is there any way Christian takes a prize here?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. You might just have to pass it on and just hope that he doesn't have another energy.
Yeah, and that he doesn't flip 1 heads, and that's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah.
That counter catcher doesn't help when you're ahead 6-1.
It doesn't. Oh, man. What a turn of events here.
I agree. Man. And Christian's just kind of debating, is there anything I can do?
Yeah. Man, Christian could have had some pretty good practice before the local started.
That's true. We have an ignition in hand. So we'll play the Hilda.
The Hilda. Let's see what we grab here. It's probably just Wug Trio energy, right?
I gotta imagine. No, actually, we want counter catcher. If we can find it, we can't. It's a Hilda. But Jolly, I'm sorry, but this will hopefully spark some joy for you. We may see Wug Trio take it.
Yeah, there's a chance here. There's a chance.
So, oh goodness, I'm sorry, Jolly. That's horrible. Starting Toad, prizing second Reshi, and never seen more than 1 Zoroark. All right.
So we have the energy here.
We do.
I don't see any other reversals, though, so we might not have any other energies to work with. This might be the last one of the game.
You know what? But that's okay, because that's the last one we need.
Yep.
So do we see a single heads flip?
Yeah. Let's see. So we're going to see the recon directives come out. The redeemable ticket's actually pretty good here.
Redeemable ticket's actually really good here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that has to go to the bottom.
Yep.
Because this actually will enable Josh to access a couple more energy, which will be very, very helpful.
I don't even know how. Does it go to the bottom of the deck and then? Oh, I guess.
All right, we're just going to flip. We're just going to rip it. Do we see a single heads come down from this?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we see the heads. One trio takes down Goldengo and wins to go to 3-0 at locals. Brian, absolute cinema.
Really, it really is
fantastic.
This is why we do this.
I could not have hoped for a better outcome there. All right, so I mean, Brian, this is one of the reasons why I love Pokemon.
Yeah.
Wug Trio is 3-0, taking down regional winner Christian Fontenot. Incredible.
Yep, even after all the games they played before the local started, too.
And by the way, if anyone sees Christian at Milwaukee, please ask him if he tested enough against Wug Trio, because clearly the answer is no. And Juice Kid, I will say, like, we can say it was insane. There was a 40% chance to hit it, which means there was a 60% chance to not hit it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't guaranteed.
And he even whiffed a turn, too.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. And I will say, Josh, ironically, Josh flipping 3 heads there was actually worst case scenario for him.
Yeah.
Because that was the one time he wanted to flip 6 and then 9 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian, any thoughts coming out of that game?
It's just fun to see, you know, like fun decks can actually get you decent results at locals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, there's enough variance in this game, and there's enough power in the cards in this game. You can win with some weird stuff.
Yeah, definitely. If it's your day, it's your day.
Absolutely. All right, so then before we get into our next round, because that was incredible, we probably want to talk about some other decks we could play going into Milwaukee. So we have one more deck remaining, but before we get there, Brian, we're talking about Wug Trio here. I want to hear what's your wild pick you want to see do well in Milwaukee.
Wild pick at Milwaukee?
Yeah.
That's a interesting one. Maybe like Control, only because of like the really low play rate that it gets.
Yeah.
Seeing like a Control deck kind of do well. See like like an all-out Blitzel kind of have like another really good finish with like a control would be super cool to see.
I do think Control is going to have a good showing. I think there's enough pieces there where Control will be really good, and it's just a really good deck in the masses because it forces perfect play. And Jewish Kid, you're saying it really well.
Yeah.
Christian did play very well into a mill deck. He controlled his bench, controlled his resources, but sometimes they just hit it. I would love to see Chi and Pao do well. That would be sick. And Jolly, I don't know if it's going to flop. I think it's a pretty strong deck.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things too where not like maybe like since this kind of just leaked recently, I don't think enough people can prepare into it.
Yes.
Going into the weekend.
Now, I will say, Neon, Abomasnow is certainly a wild pick, and that is what I asked for. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm getting what I paid for here.
It's funny because Josh was playing Abomasnow last week, but he couldn't get to the one win that we needed him to get to put on stream.
We were 0-2 last week with that one.
Yeah.
A Jolly Tusk Mill, I think actually is good, but it is not good enough because I think it is an aggressive enough mill where people can play around it too effectively still, even though... Dude, Lunatone Solrock, give it a great consistency.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, and so from my end, I want to see Venusaur do well.
Yeah.
So I want to see, actually, I would love to see Hydrapple EX do well. Those are actually the decks, Beganium and that Forest of Plants, Vitality Forest, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think that's such a cool combination for fun cards. And I am very glad it won't let us Vileplume lock people out of the game anymore. Because
very true.
That is not great, guys. But no, so outside of that, I think...
and then Real Kino. Mill stands for just discarding cards from your opponent's deck.
Yes. Yeah. So great question. So whenever you mill, it's your discarding cards off the top of your opponent's deck. So, for instance, Wugtrio said flip 3 coins for each heads, discard 3 cards. A win condition in the Pokemon TCG is taking all your prizes. A win condition is also if your opponent cannot draw a card, they lose the game. So you just burn their deck to the ground. Yep. I would love to see Tuskmill do well, though.
Yeah,
I do think that's a cool one.
Yeah, that would be a cool one for sure.
And then the last one I had, I would actually really like to see Cynthia's Garchomp do well.
Oh, yeah, that's another really cool one. That actually is in like a good position, too, because of those all the fighting support that we got with this set. So seeing Garchomp would be really cool, too. Yeah.
I would be a huge fan. Single prize Alakazam would be sick. Mega Guardy, I don't need to see Guardy do well anymore. No, I think it's enough. Well, all right. Speaking of Ceruledge, that is one of the last decks we had to talk about here. So, Bryce, you mind throwing up Ceruledge? So, this is a list that did very well at one of the local late nights, and I know a couple of our teammates are thinking of bringing it up to Milwaukee. So, Brian, tell us about this deck.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like we were talking about earlier. It's like very straightforward. It hits for big numbers, and it has that new Solrock Lunatone engine. So, has a good way of putting energy into the discard, and also has solid single prize attacker for early game support. So, this is also another one of those decks that really takes advantage of legacy energy, which is super cool because now it's like, oh, maybe your Solrock is a 0 prizer, or your Squawkabilly is a 1 prizer now. So, it definitely helps. Take away liability from your board, and it also helps you just attack, which is really nice.
Credit to Jewish Kid 22 on Twitch for calling out Spoonman, but Spoonman I think is a real deck, so would not be surprised to see it there. But Brian, you're right. This deck is very much I'm not burning your deck to the ground. I'm burning my deck to the ground, and I'm going to do a ton of damage with that. Because did you already say Cerulege's attacks?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, really strong attacks. Obviously, you're only going to use the first one.
Yeah.
And you have the advantage of Solrock to be a single prize attacker and Briar to clean up the game.
Yeah, and I think that's also one of the biggest strengths, too, is like it's one of the only decks that really takes advantage of Briar, which is super cool because now it's like your opponent really has to think about their prize map and if they're going to be just walking into a Briar to lose the game. So that's something they really have to think about. And I think this is like a good transition to kind of go over those. Did I make tech options for?
You did indeed, because we talked about it. So, I think it's a great transition. Let's talk about those.
Do we have the tech option one? Yeah, here we go. So, again, it couldn't let me put more than one ace back on there. But
real quick update, by the way. It is bottom of the first in the Cubs game against the Milwaukee, and we just hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the first. So, we are up 3-0 for all those watching at home.
Yeah.
Please carry on.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But it wouldn't let me put more than one ace back on there, so I only put the Blender because most people are playing Legacy Energy anyways, but Blender's an option. I don't think Blender's really as good because there's plenty of ways to get energy out of the discard. So it's an option. Briar, I already kind of talked about a little bit. Iron Bundle is good as that pseudo gust, so you can kind of force other Pokemon into the active. The Delibird. Delibird, sometimes people have been talking about the Delibird. Quick gift. You can on your first turn, you can use this attack, and you can search for a card.
So, and I mean, that's sick, because this is a deck that wants to go first.
Yeah.
And you've played a bunch of Jet Energy, like a ton of ways to move stuff around.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get that into the active, you can search for a research, for a Ceruledge, whatever it is you want going into your second turn, and then your opponent starts to play the game, and that can put you in such an aggressive position.
Yeah, it's cool too because there's a lot of stuff that helps you cheat out mechanics that you're not able to normally do.
Yeah.
So the quick gift you can use on your first turn. Carmine you can use as a supporter on your first turn. Squawk you can discard cards on your first turn. So there's a lot of power in going first when you play this deck, and that's something you kind of have to think about, and it's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. So really cool tech with that. I'm a big fan of the Jet Energies too.
Yes.
Because I'm all about respecting the retreat lock in this format.
Yes, and the advantage with the Jet Energy is it's not just an attachment, because you can't really attack with it, but when you jet and retreat, you add damage on your turn.
Exactly. Yeah, so being able, like, if someone's like, oh, I want to gust your Ceruledge with no energy, you know, to the active, well, I can just jet up a single retreat cost Pokemon, retreat it, and all of a sudden I'm doing more damage now. So that's something to kind of think about. Yeah.
And I mean, it's so cool to be able to work around your opponent's game plans for you. We talked about getting around retreat lock being essential this weekend, which all y'all, if you're building your lists and you lose to retreat lock, you gotta rethink that, because it's going to be big this weekend.
Definitely, especially at the top tables, I feel like.
And so one thing you have on here is Super Rod. And I mean, for a deck that just burns things to the ground, having a recovery like that's kind of an interesting inclusion.
Yeah, because sometimes you just want to be able to put more energy into play or back into your deck so you can Earthen Vessel it out to draw more cards anyways. So Super Rod for like 1 or 2 like fighting energies could be good because you can, you know, fish those out of your deck, and all of a sudden you're drawing more cards now.
Fizzle, I'm glad you're not getting retreat locked. That is absolutely the correct choice. But yeah, Super Rod is good because, like you said, maybe you want energy back, but also because you discard so aggressively, if you get rid of 2 Ceruledge, like, it's better from a resource standpoint to be able to rod them both back in than use 1 Night Stretcher to get 1 back.
Exactly.
So, kind of getting into the supporters, Briar, obviously huge. You can play more than 1 copy if you want some protection. Turo, incredible to get around retreat lock and to clear Squawk and other prizes from your board.
Yep.
You could always play more bosses. Lily's determination and research are actually maybe not contentious, but interesting ones up here, Brian.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I put these supporters on here just because it's like kind of things you can play around with counts. Because like Carmine, you'll probably be at 4 with, but you can also play like extra copies of research, or you can play Lily's instead of research, stuff like that, flip flop things, as ways to improve your early game.
Yes.
So those are some things you can kind of think about.
And that's the thing. The downside of Carmine is after the first turn, you're only drawing 5.
Yeah.
Research, you're drawing 7. And again, that 2 cards, that's a 40% increase. That is a huge gap over the course of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Lily's determination, it does not discard, but if you get to see 8 cards when you're searching for a Ceruledge or something to close out the game, that's a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Solrock making Dengo better and Ceruledge better, I think is awesome. Solrock, Lunatone are just such a good combination for aggro decks.
Yeah, definitely. It's cool to see them like together in like archetypes that actually work. I know like in the Sword and Shield block there was like a Solrock Lunatone deck that was kind of going around.
There was,
yeah,
yes.
I forgot what it did, but it wasn't really that great. It was kind of like a very, very, very rogue pick, but this seems more like in the mainstream, which is cool.
Well, so it was a combination where when both were in play, your opponent could not play Stadiums from hand.
Yeah.
So you would use that in concert with Path to the Peak to just lock some decks out of that game. Now, granted, there was still stuff like Lost Vacuum in the format, so there are ways to get around it, but it was a cool combination.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're going to get into our last game here in just a minute. Bryce is getting us set up, but for everyone who has joined so far, dude, thank y'all for hanging out.
Yeah, it's always cool to have everybody here, and we're very glad that you guys keep coming back every week to keep watching us.
Yeah, seriously. The good news is we actually will be streaming consistently between now and November. There is an NRG show the first weekend in November. We're here until then, and we'll be here the weekend following. So, and we got our cup coming up in November.
Yeah, we do have a cup coming up.
Which I need to nicely yell at Norm about getting that advertised.
Do you remember what day we scheduled
that
for?
And here's the details for those watching. You get to be out on the secret. We are trying to figure out if we can do the cup as a part of the Nerd Rage Gaming Series event. in November. If we are not able to do it then, we're going to do it here on the 9th.
Yeah.
But we're going to get a hold of Norm to figure that out. But getting into our last round here, we have exactly what we're talking about. Ceruledge EX versus Bridge, Archlodon EX, which is technically a metal Pokemon.
Yeah.
But no one cares.
Yeah, because it's funny because the Archlodon attack takes away the weakness.
It does.
Yeah, that's something that I forgot about.
But fun fact, Ceruledge doesn't really care about 300 HP.
Yeah.
That is not a barrier. It is a speed bump at worst.
Yeah, definitely.
And so just thinking the math on that, for Ceruledge, it needs 15 energy in the discard pile to one-shot it cleanly.
And we appreciate all the love in the chat, too.
Yeah, no, appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, Brian, who's favored in this matchup?
I actually don't know. I guess maybe Archlodon is at first until Ceruledge gets the damage numbers going. So I feel like Olive would have to start like really just trying to run over Koji early in the game, and that would be kind of like the plan. But this seems to be Poison Arch, so we might see a donk here.
It is Poison Bridge, and I think that's going to be the game plan for Olive is how do we knock out one active Charcadet and just close out the game that way. But all right, we'll see who goes first here.
So, looks like Olive maybe? Oh, no, it's Koji.
And that's perfect for Koji because Koji really needs to bench some Pokemon here.
Koji needs another Pokemon here.
So we see the attachment.
We have an Ultra Ball, so we can put something else down.
We should be able to Squawk, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
All right, and so with the Squawk, this is already huge because Koji's going to be able to avoid the donk.
Yeah.
And if Koji avoids the donk, I think he's going to be doing all right.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about making him pass that first turn.
Yes,
that's
100%.
That's really the big part.
So the only thing I think I would have liked to see, I don't know about you, is I actually would have liked to see the Jet on that Squawk to just tank some poison damage.
Yeah, that could be pretty good too. Yeah.
Rather than let the Charcadet get knocked out.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see what we end up doing from here. So the Squawk came down. I don't know if there's anything else we can kind of do. So we can...
So we just Squawk that hand away. Perfect. And kind of like Fizzle's saying, we got the Squawk. Now we just need to see a Carmine here.
Yep.
And we'll see 6 cards. Not all Ceruledge are playing for Carmine, but I think most are.
Yeah, most are, I feel like. So we have another Ultra Ball, so it looks like we can probably put a few more cards into the discard here as well. Again, it's like kind of like what you're talking about. We would have liked to see that Jet kind of go down on the Squawk to be able to tank some damage, but not the worst thing in the world here.
As long as we're able to get a second Ceruledge down or even a Soul Rock to be able to attack with, I think we're fine.
Yeah, the Soul Rock here is good. I like that.
We could actually just retreat into the Soul Rock too, which I think would be great.
Definitely. So let's see if we end up doing that. Let's see.
So one thing I should note too, as Koji's shuffling up here, there are some decks that very, very badly want to go second. Ceruledge, you want to go first.
Yeah, you want to go first, which is... it's been a while since we've had a deck that like is consistently wanting to go first, which is funny because when I first started playing, if you don't go first, you pretty much are immediately at a disadvantage already.
There are, so stuff like Raging Bolt, stuff like Terrabox, like Noctowl decks, those all definitely want to go first. But outside of that, you're right. Pretty much everything wants to go second currently.
Yeah, and a lot of those decks that want to go first, like the Raging Bolt, they don't really mind going second.
No, not at all. All right, so then now we have a choice. Do we retreat into that Drill Burr or into the Soul Rock? And honestly, Brian, I would really like to see the retreat into Soul Rock.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree as well. That would be super good because we just want to keep that Charcadet alive and in play so it can start doing some more damage in the future.
For sure. And so the energy goes in the discard, and we have the Carmine.
Carmine.
We're cooking, people. Yes. All right, we'll see 5 cards off the top, and do we see a second Charcadet?
Let's see. We have another Ultra Ball, though.
We do. And honestly, even if we see a Lunatone or something, that's fine.
Yeah. But it looks like we might just keep it.
And I think we're just debating what have we used.
Yeah,
Looks like we're down to Ultra Ball.
We might just keep it just so we can have it for next turn to get the Ceruledge.
We do have a Carmine in hand, so I would love to see this Ultra Ball for another Charcadet.
Yep.
Alas, Here we are.
Yes, here we are. So we're going to see the Petch come down here. Nest Ball is coming down as well. Maybe get the Petch here, or we might get a Dura. Squawk. Squawk is good.
I think Squawk makes sense because I think Olive does not mind knocking out this Charcadet with poison.
Very, very true. So let's see what we end up going with here.
So in Olive's hands, we do have a Carmine. It looks like I thought we may have had an Ancient Capsule, but I don't know. And we at least have a couple other cards, but this feels like a Carmine hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if you have the Carmine there, you might as well use it, right?
So we do have Palpad, we have Bridge, we have Turo. So yeah, I think we're going to squawk the hand away here. Is there a reason why we're squawk? Oh, that's why, because we just drew Research, and that's so much better.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see here. We got the Mochi.
Which Mochi is good. It can modify damage.
Yep.
We have an Earthen Vessel to get more energy in the discard. But we have not found it out either to Pecharunt or to Duraludon yet.
Yeah.
So how big of a deal is it if Olive does not find knockout on this Charcadet?
I feel like it's fine as long as we're able to get Duraludon in play, just because Duraludon is going to be the way that we finish the game. But if we're able to get the poison, it doesn't feel like the worst thing in the world if we're not able to get the Dura down.
I think it's a fair point. And now Olive could have taken that Iono, but just deciding to burn the deck down a little bit further.
Definitely. Kind of manipulate it a little bit more, and then we can kind of see where we want to go from there. But we're probably going to see that Research come down as well, and that'll be good to get some more of those metal energies in the discard pile.
And I think that's one of the main reasons why Olive skipped the Carmine. She was hoping to hit a Research and get those couple extra cards.
Yep.
We do see the Research. We see Pecharunt. Do we see an Ancient Booster Capsule?
No.
No.
We see the Pecharunt, though.
But the Petch doesn't matter if we don't have the capsule.
I know.
Ooh, this is huge for Koji, Brian.
Yeah.
So where does Olive go from here?
I don't even know. It's like, do we just put something else in the active?
Well, so we hit a Nest Ball, so we can get a Duraludon down,
Yeah.
and that seems big.
Yeah, that's definitely something. It was like kind of like what we were talking about before. It's like if we're not able to get the poison attack off, at least get the Dura down.
Right, and that's looked like what it ended up being. So we needed the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule on the Brute Bonnet in order to activate Poison, because Pecharunt will poison your own guy. It does not poison the defending Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then so looking though, we're probably going to bench the Dura. Do we do anything else on Olive's end?
Not that I can see here right now. I mean, maybe we can put down the Petch.
I think we do have to put down the Petch because we probably need to protect that Brute Bonnet.
Yeah. Go Poison. And then we might just pass it over.
I think that's going to be the move. So we do need to make sure that Pecharunt is poison, which I'm sure Olive will catch. But then, yeah, we're just going to call it a day there.
Yep, so Koji's going to draw here. And we'll have that Ultra Ball for the... so we can get the Sarah Legend play here.
Yes, and that's a huge deal. Now, we could go for the Lunatone, but let's just take the Sarah Ledge.
Yeah, take the Sarah Ledge for now. I think we have Carmine in hand, so we can always just use that to discard the hand and draw 5 more, and hopefully we can get the Lunatone off of that.
We're also going to be able to Palpet in the boss's orders from the discard pile. I think we'll probably leave the Carmines in there, but getting boss back's a big deal.
Yeah, definitely is.
So one thing to note with that Archdalodon bridge, whatever it is, it does, as Brian said, turn off weakness.
Yeah.
It also does 220 damage, which isn't enough to knock out a Cyberledge. But Poison Mochi adds 40, which is 260.
Yep.
And if Cyberledge is poison, we would actually be able to see the bridge reach for the one-shot on Cyberledge. So it's going to be pretty important for Koji to get another Charcadet down.
Yeah, definitely would be. So let's see what this Carmine's going to grab for us here. So Carmine, we're going to discard a Night Stretcher.
Which is fine. I don't think there's anything special we want to get back.
Yep.
And then do we see a Charcadet is the question. We
Charcadet.
see
we
one.
See the Charcadet, which is good, and our damage seems to be pretty solid so far.
Well, it's certainly enough to knock out the Petron.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not sure where we're at otherwise, but also that's a pretty good follow-up hand.
Yeah, definitely.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we are at 230 damage right now.
That's pretty good. I mean, it takes out stuff like the Petron EX and the Squawk ability, which is always good.
It is. And so we have Pheasantipity, which is good, but it's also a liability.
Yep. Fez is going to draw 3. We got another Dura here, so it seems to be kind of like a Dura show from here.
It is, definitely. The Poison Donk is really an early game strategy or to try to do something sneaky to steal a prize. And so we do see attachment. We're going to be able to poison if we hit the capsule, but we really need the Mochi to do anything crazy here.
Yeah. So we're going to grab the research here. Helps us churn through the deck a little bit more. And let's see where we go.
And so, Brian, so what's a combination that Olive needs to take the knockout here?
I think we need Mochi, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we need Mochi, and then we need the energy capsule for the Brute Bonnet in order to get that knockout. So a few pieces, definitely.
Which makes sense. Only 2 pieces, but they're both tools, so there's no other way to search them except for drawing into them off of these 7 cards.
Yeah, definitely.
And so then that's a little tough because if Olive does not reach the 1-shot here, she is going to be in a very precarious position. I did not word good, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And Mike, thank you for joining. I agree. Sheesh.
Yes.
This is a nail biter, honestly.
Yeah, we've had some pretty good games today. Very high quality stuff. Ooh, the poison, what is that called?
The Perilous Jungle.
Perilous Jungle.
We see the capsule.
Yep.
All right, so 2 more cards.
Yep.
Do we see the Mochi? We do not.
We don't see the Mochi.
So this will get us to 220, 250.
Well, another thing, too, is we need the 3rd energy.
We do need the 3rd energy. Did we not hit the 3rd energy?
I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. I'm trying to see if we hit the 3rd energy. I feel like if we hit the 3rd energy, we would have attached it by now. But
you're right. We whiffed the 3rd energy.
Yeah.
Holy.
And now this Archaludon can go down to weakness.
Did we just pass?
Yeah, I think we just passed.
Why not poison?
That's a good question, yeah.
I have a lot of good questions, Brian.
Yeah.
So that seems like a big whiff because now it's going to be even harder for Olive to reach on the Ceruledge.
Yeah, so now the Gong here is going to be able to get us the Lunatone, and I think we have the fighting energy in hand to be able to knock out, or to discard.
We do.
So this will just be able to really get Koji ahead, and it's kind of like the opposite of what we said. We really wanted the Archaludon to kind of take the lead early, and not being able to because we did whiff the Donk, and now we haven't been able to attack either.
Agreed. And Mike, I'm glad you love some bridge. Unfortunately, you're not going to enjoy this game if you're a big bridge fan because things are not going the way of Olive.
Definitely.
And Mike, I agree. I think right now Olive's feeling pretty tilted, and that is affecting her play.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you're missing all the stuff that you kind of need, it can be a little frustrating. So we'll see the draw 3 come down on Koji's side here.
Fizzle, I agree. I think I would have liked to see her sacrifice the single prizer, even if it doesn't change the prize map all too much here. But we have a backup Ceruledge, and that is a huge deal.
Yeah, and it's almost getting to the point where the Ceruledge is going to be able to knock out the Archaludon without the weakness buff here. So.
Yep, and we do see the knockout. And I think Olive may have forgotten that the weakness is only turned off if it attacks.
Yeah. So we're going to see here now, the Archaludon's going to come back here. We're going to get the 2 energies here now. We have another research, so hopefully we can see if we are able to, or we have Iono also, see if we're going to be able to get that 3rd energy plus the Mochi.
And that's a big thing is we really need the Mochi to reach the 1-shot here. Now,
the Mochi was at the bottom, so.
If we had poison last turn, we actually wouldn't need the Mochi right now.
Yeah.
Because we would be hitting into a Ceruledge with 60 damage already on it.
Oh, yeah, because of the Perilous Jungle.
Yes, exactly.
True. Very true.
All right, so then do we see Iono or research, do you think?
I think we got to play Iono here. I feel like Iono is just good to kind of slow Koji down here.
So I would tend to agree, except for I don't know what she's really stopping Koji from doing. We've got 2 fully set up Ceruledge. We've got energy attached on both. We have draw on board. We have a single prize we could sacrifice. Mega Mawile is cool.
That is a cool one, yeah.
So what does that do, Brian? Why is it a good fit?
Well, it takes advantage of it. It does like I actually don't know.
I got you, bro.
Yeah.
So Mega Mawile, 3-prize Pokemon, 280 HP.
Yeah.
So I think it's 280. Second attack,
Yep.
2 metal and colorless, does 260 damage. But if there's any damage on the opponent, it only does 30. So very much an early game first hit. The first attack, though, for 2 metal, does 80 damage per each prize you have taken.
That's why. I got cooked by it by Kevin one time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he was playing it with in Terabox.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, he was playing Terabox with Megas.
Well, and to be honest, it is a perfect fit in a deck like this because Bridge can accelerate to it in one turn.
True.
And you can usually get through your first 4 prizes pretty easily with this deck.
Definitely.
But those last 2 on a Stage 2 EX is really hard.
Definitely. So we're going to play the boss here, it looks like, and we're going to take out the Squawkabilly.
And I mean, that seems like a good decision.
Yeah.
Get some prizes, and then this is a good time to Iono. Or...
Well, we played boss.
Oh, we did play
Yeah,
boss. We can't
boss.
Iono.
Yeah,
good
we can
call, good
Iono.
call.
Yeah.
All right, so Olive is on her game. Dan is not.
Yes. So it doesn't feel like the worst play in the world just because Koji's at 3 prizes. So Olive's able to kind of have another turn to keep doing stuff and see if she can kind of whiff anything else. So we're going to knock out the Pheasantipity here.
Do we see the draw with Lunatone still? Because I feel like I want to.
Yeah, I would want to also. I think you just kind of want to have the extra damage here. Or.
So what do you think Koji's argument is for not drawing there?
Probably just to have it for next turn. But then again, it's like if we play Iono, there's not always that chance.
And so that's exactly my thought. I think we're in a position where an Iono could be very problematic. Now, granted, we still don't have knockout on this Severledge. And if we don't knock out, Olive's still going to be at 4 prizes remaining.
Yeah. So we'll kind of see what we decide. But I think we're just thinning continually, trying to get another way to get the try to get that Mochi.
And the Mochi's a big deal. Now, granted, we can take a knockout with Mega Mawile, but we were going to immediately lose the game.
Yeah, we were just going to lose the game from there.
So this is now where it's tough. And this is something Bridge has had an issue with for a long time, is closing out games.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, Bridge will get you there, but being able to close the game out is definitely very, very tough.
So then this is the Iono turn, Brian?
I would think so, yeah. I mean, we've thinned out enough. We're going to see 4 cards here, so hopefully one of those is going to be the Mochi.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
And we can also hit a Night Stretcher for Fez if we want.
Yeah.
But then obviously that means we don't attack with Mega Mawile, but that's fine.
Yeah. So 1 card here.
Well, we got the Night Stretcher for Fez.
Yep. Night Stretcher will be able to get us a few more cards here. And then hopefully we can see... Hopefully we can see it.
I know, we're going to find out. And so we get 3 cards. Nope.
Nope.
Oh, there we go.
Last one.
So we do see the knockout here if we decide to Mochi and Poison.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to go with. So the downside is we're going to work our way down to 280 damage going back into Olive's turn.
Yep. So are we going to play the Mochi?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, not 280. We're going to work our way down to 270 going into Koji's turn and 240 going back into Olive's if we poison because of the Perilous Jungle. And so that's a big risk because that means Koji could be able to hit the number anyway.
Yeah, that's tough. And both of them, there's 2 Severledges already too, so, you know, it's tough that for Olive here.
Exactly. And so that poison, even if it's necessary to take the one shot, that could be her undoing here.
Yeah.
All right, so we will poison. And we will hit for the knockout. Olive takes 2 prizes, goes down to 2 prizes remaining. And now Koji's in a position where he's got to figure out how to close this game.
Yeah. Now it's his turn to kind of close. So we'll see how many energy we're kind of working with here. 11?
I think we're at 11, which would be 250, which would actually be enough to win here.
But we go into the Soul Rock here.
I think Koji may have an energy in hand.
Okay.
Yep. And so we're going to attach, retreat, hit for, I believe, 280?
280, I think.
or 270.
And
then Poison closed out the knockout. So Cerulege goes to 4-0, takes the win. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think we got a lot of variety here today, which is really cool.
We did, honestly.
Yeah, it wasn't just like completely just Goldengo, Guardy, Dragapult the entire night, you know?
We actually didn't see a single Dragapult, if memory serves, which makes me a little sad, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But we saw Cerulege, we saw Bridge, we saw Wug Trio Mill take down regional winner Christian Fontenot. We did see the Goldengo, Gardevoir, and then what did we see the first round?
Guardy, Goldengo.
Oh, that was just the second round. Either way, but we did also get to see a little Hydrapple, a little bit of Eevee Box. Do some cool stuff.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff, and it's cool that everybody kind of came to play today.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are not messing around in advance of Milwaukee. So, like we said, we have Milwaukee Regional on Saturday. I'm probably going to a brewer tour afterwards if anyone wants to hit me up and join if I suck. The Yankees
lose. Yeah.
Also, the Cubs are still winning, to my knowledge, which is fantastic.
Which is cool. I'm going to go home to watch the game, too, so I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And Mr. Blanks, I do think Drillbur could be a good fit in Cellar. So, going into the weekend, Brian, if you were going, what would you play?
Probably Goldengo.
That's reasonable.
Dango rocks, yeah.
And I'll tell you, going into the weekend, I'm probably going to play Dragapult. It's still good, man. And yes, Mike, that unfortunately was the last round. It's 4-round locals today, but we will be back next week with some more Pokemon. So, Brian, anything to send people off?
Yeah, I mean, good luck, everybody. That's going to be competing this weekend. Do your best. Make sure you lock in those 60s the night before. Safe travels to everybody. Make sure to come back safe. Make good decisions. Just be safe, have fun, and keep an eye on everybody.
That's good life advice. And I will say thank you all very much for joining. If you haven't already, please follow, like, subscribe. Do all the fancy social YouTube content things because we love having you come hang out.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll be playing Dragapult. Please come up, say hi. It'd be awesome to see you guys. There were a ton of people that said hi at Pittsburgh, and it was amazing. And so for myself, Bryce, Brian, thank you all very much for joining. Really appreciate having you here. Good luck in Milwaukee, and we'll see you here next time at Nerd Rage Gaming.